managed to get poison ivy.
Oh, so now
With no glasses, poison ivy.
Can I just say the obvious? You're an effing mess right now, man.
Dude, I'm falling
You're a mess.
apart.
You're a mess.
I'm falling apart. It's a terrible start to this week. It's only Wednesday. I got to get through the rest of this week.
Now, I guess it's good that do you know where you had it so your kids don't, can you get that removed from your yard?
So, yeah, you can dig it up and I'll take the proper precautions in order to.
That way your kids don't get it.
The problem is that, so I didn't discover it till last night. I obviously didn't go looking for this morning. I'm not exactly sure where in the yard.
Of course.
It was, but I will go on the search today. Poison ivy, I don't have seasonal allergies. I don't take medicine for any other allergy. If I so much as look at poison ivy, I get it. So it didn't have to be particularly far away from me in order for me to get it. And it's not the worst case I've ever had, but it's not great. So I had to take a Benadryl and put some hydrocortisone on it, and now just...
What a mess.
I give up, man. I'm just going to cancel class tomorrow now. Poison ivy, can't see anything. Semester over. We'll just figure out. I'll just grade your stuff.
semester already is over.
I got
it already is over.
I got one more class.
I thought that was it yesterday.
Someone says, don't dig it up, Cody. Spray it with chemical and kill it. Fine. I'll do that. But either way, I have it, and it's in my yard somewhere.
I will point out, and the text line is correct, that I don't think you're allowed to wear glasses again until the Royals lose.
Are they undefeated?
They're undefeated.
Are we really doing that?
Glassless Cody, they haven't lost.
Sunday, Monday.
Just saying.
Tuesday, oh, man, they are undefeated since I lost my glasses. I didn't think about that. But they've also won 9 of 11. So, I don't know if, they started winning before I lost my glasses.
Cody,
and I'd like to see again.
Cody, have you actually seen any of the games? Have you actually watched them?
Yes. I didn't just listen. Now, you could argue how well did I see them. But I did have them on television, if that counts for anything. It'd be an awful time to go to a game and, try to, squint my way through. Be a tough time to have really good seats to a game. So of course later tonight I'm sure I'll get a text from somebody and be like, "Hey man, I got crown seats. You want to go?" I'll be like, "Well, that's as close as I can get and maybe still physically see." I should just find someone with a similar prescription as me and borrow those, I guess, at this point.
Or again, as I told you, you could have just gone to one of the lens crafters type places and got frames, lenses in an hour, and this would have been solved 3 days ago. But not the case. So I was about to say, glad that you got things resolved, but you didn't get anything resolved, and it's even worse. So enjoy being miserable for the rest of today and tomorrow till your glasses are in on Friday. Weird stuff going on. Weird stuff going on with this show. We'll get to
cursed.
We'll get to we'll get to a couple things coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. You had your surgery a couple months ago. I got something else. You got this going on. It's a weird time for this show right now.
But the Royals, maybe I have to be physically uncomfortable in order for the Royals to be, as you mentioned, good. They've now won 5 games in a row, 9 of 11, could technically be in first place in the AL Central by tonight.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
I don't know that they still have to win the game against Cleveland, but they've earned themselves at least a split against the team currently in first place in the division. And last night, it wasn't even like the normal heroes. It was Michael Massey and Stephen Kolek and Isaac Collins. Those aren't even the normal crew, Gold, and yet they're still finding ways to get the wins. So, it's hard. It's hard to come in here and say anything that should concern us. We'll get to maybe some of the stuff that maybe still gets there, but they're certainly back in the race. Nobody can argue that anymore.
No, there's no question. They're back in the race. I think the fact that they are now 2 games under 500 much quicker than any of us really thought they could get back to that. 17-19. I told you I'll still maintain it. I think getting to 500 is still the goal that they needed to get to, and they're almost there. They get to 500, then at that point there should be no excuse for anybody not being bought back in. I told you I want to see them get to 500, but admittedly, the way they're playing baseball right now, they're playing like a first-place baseball team the last week and a half or so. Everything they're doing, as you said, every night there's somebody else that is stepping up. That when you're a first-place team, it's the core guys that have to be there consistently. It's Vinny, it's Bobby, it's Jack Caglione, it's Salvador Perez, and your pitching staff relying on the guys you trust. But when you're playing really good baseball, all of a sudden, it's when a spot starter like Stephen Kolek can give you 6 innings and pitch phenomenally.
Correct.
It's when all of a sudden Michael Massey, who's been splitting time with Nick Lofton, hits a big home run last night. The day after, Nick Lofton comes up with a clutch hit. And it's Isaac Collins, as you said, a triple away from the cycle last night. That's how you know things are rolling. When it's truly every night now, everybody, if you go the last couple of days, there's not a guy on the roster really that hasn't contributed at this point in time. And so, yeah, the vibes are much, much better. This team has already taken 2 from the Guardians. And so you talk about having big-time homestands and everything. I mean, at this point, we start to get greedy. You're thinking 5-2 at least type of homestand.
When they start 2-0, it's like if they go 4-3, probably come back here on Monday and be like, I'm a little disappointed. And look, everybody's looking for I love how baseball, I think it's one of the things I really like about the sport, because it doesn't happen in football the same way, or basketball. Sometimes a little bit with golfers, I'm sure Drew can say, but the second things start going right, everybody's looking for the reason. Oh, the Royals are undefeated since Cody lost his glasses. Oh, the Royals are 8-2 since they grew out the mustaches, right? The mustache Royals are winning. Everybody's been sharing all the John Pork content.
The trading cards.
The trading cards that they pass down into the bullpen that's taped up in there. I think that's 9-11 or 9-2, I think, in their last 11 during that stretch. Everybody's looking for the reason to not change anything up, right? Look, we've seen rally mantises and a million other different versions of winning ways that people immediately get superstitious about. And I don't care if it is the John Pork card or if it is because they all have mustaches. Something's working right for the Royals. And right now, the thing that, and I think I've talked about this in previous years, that bothers me about Royals teams who don't end up having success, which is successful organizations, teams just like good organizations, maybe not ones that have won the World Series like the Royals, but the Cardinals of the early 2000s, the Rays currently, when they need somebody, when Nick Lofton has to come up and make starts because Jonathan India, they get good quality play out of him. When your starter has to miss a start and Noah Cameron, you need Stephen Kolek to make a start for you. You get a good start out of him. And so far, the Royals have had to call up twice somebody to step up and do something in the absence of it. Lofton's been solid, and Kolek was good last night. Was he perfect? No. But he made another quality start, which is every single start he's ever made in a Royals uniform. So, if you've got guys like that, it makes winning easier. You were up against their best performing starter on the season to date. You had your 6th starter, 7th starter, depending on the injuries and the other stuff, coming up, and Kolek delivered again. And Kolek is somebody that maybe I've just undervalued, because in his 5 starts now as a Royals, he's got like a 2.5 earned run average. He has all 6 starts he's made for a Royals been a quality start. Maybe he's just a guy that I should give more credit to or expect more out of. But I thought it was going to be tough slogging last night. They immediately went down, they got up 2-0, then down 3-2, immediately answered with the Massey homer. That's the kind of game, when you answer right away, that's when you don't let, being up 2-0. They lost that game a month ago.
Sure.
They're up 2-0 and then down 3-2. It's well, that's it. And now it's not that way. They're back in the comfort.
A lot of it is the offense too. I mean, in order to do that, of course, your offense has to be right. And they scored 5 runs yesterday. They were a runaway. People were tweeting us again during the game. They were runaway, Cody, from more Hawaiian Bros, which has become just now this season-long thing. I think we're going to be talking about all year. Yeah, I did go and get mine after the show yesterday.
Did you? Nice. So, it's just, the superstitious part of it, but the winning part of it is important. Stephen Kolek, I mean, is that, I got to say, and this is not, it's not even like a knock on Noah Cameron, who's going to make his next start most likely. Sounded like he could have made this start, honestly.
If it was later in the year.
And that Q decided, hey, there's no reason to risk it up to this point. If anybody in the rotation struggles, and by anybody, I obviously mean, it's not going to be Waka, Lugo, Bubich. They're not going to do it with any of those guys. But if Noah Cameron struggles, you're going to have to at least consider what you do with Kolek and if he's available. Now, they DFA'd a guy yesterday that I forgot was on the roster.
Mason Black or whatever.
I forgot. I forgot he was pitching for the team. So Kolek, is he going to start? Are they going to send it back down, call up a reliever? They got to make a decision on, at this point, you got to leave him stretched out, back down to AAA,
Yeah,
right?
He'll go back down to AAA, assuming Noah Cameron is back is all right. Long term, Kolek he's 29 years old. He's got this year, and then he's pre-arb next year, and so not arbitration eligible till 2028. So they've got a couple years of control moving forward with him, and I think it's a good thing to have an option down there in AAA. To your point, I think they have to just leave him stretched out, because at some point, somebody else in the rotation is going to need to miss a start. Hopefully it's a short-term thing. So it's Noah Cameron right now, but at some point later on this year, somebody else might have something tighten up, and they need to take some time off. And so this is a good thing. We were just talking about how they were trying to navigate calling up multiple guys, and more so on the bullpen side of things, not necessarily the rotation. But with Berger being out and everything, Kolek is their option right now in AAA to come up and be a spot starter.
There's not another good choice.
That is their option. So my guess is yes, Cody, he would get sent back down to AAA right away. And remember, he himself was just on a rehab assignment. This was his first start
in the bigs, since coming. He made 4 rehab assignments.
But he had an oblique strain, I think it was, in Omaha, or was rehabbing in Omaha. And his last time out down there, a week or so ago, he went 4 1/3. And so for him to go 6 innings last night and be as efficient as he was really impressive.
No, it really is. And again, like you said, if you actually look at the AAA roster, it's not a great AAA roster. No, and they had starting pitching depth, but they've already. So like the problem is, Luinder Avila hasn't looked as sharp as we were hoping he would in the early going, and they lost Berger, as we had mentioned before. So now it's like, so now what in the starters? You're like, no, it's pretty much the 6 guys you see. They've already been tested. They say you need 8 starters for a variety of reasons. Well, Avila might have to make a start at some point. Kolek already is making starts. And then you just hope everyone else stays healthy and that you don't suffer any kind of major injury throughout, because at that point, they won't have the depth. Unless one of these young pitchers in A or AA or something take a massive leap forward at some point this year, they're going to be kind of stuck in that spot. And look, you and I have had the conversation about like, hey, we're waiting for him to be back at 500. This isn't even an argument for they're still 2 games back. Because of the way the division works, we can talk about the Royals. They're technically in a wild card spot as of today. They are firmly back in the mix, which I do think that I don't want to undersell. They did that far faster than I even thought plausible for the team. And that goes back to the initial thought, which is they have talent. They got back in the mix far faster than I ever thought they would, or could, if you want the truth. I thought it was going to have to be a much slower burn than that for them to be back in a playoff spot. They were the second. They were Gold. What was it at the end of the 8-game winning streak or losing streak? Maybe it was game 6 or 7. They had the worst record in the American League. They had the second worst record in baseball. They were one of the worst teams in baseball 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So there is a question of sustainability, and I know that you probably fear that a little bit too, don't you? This idea of can you maintain this? And the reason why my answer to that is yes is they have one of the best players in baseball. They have a lot of really good hitters. They are deep and they can pitch. It's the same reason why I was so frustrated why they were playing so poorly. That's why the sustainability part doesn't actually deeply fear me. Because or deeply concern me.
Well, what they're doing, the way they're winning right now is not some fluky aspect to it. They're not going out there and out of nowhere.
They're winning every game 5-3.
Yeah, they're not going out there and consistently having to lean heavily on the pitching, and the offense still is not performing well. They're not getting some absurd type of performances.
Out of anybody.
It's not like Caglione's out here all of a sudden hitting 3 homers a game, and you're like, okay, that's not going to happen. That's how they're winning games. No, it's as we just said. I mean, Isaac Collins. He's not going 3 for 3 all the time, but he stepped up during the stretch now. And Michael Massey, everybody on the roster, you can honestly probably go 1 through 9 in the order and find a moment during this stretch where they have had a big-time at-bat, big-time defensive play, and certainly we've discussed the bullpen has really solidified itself, and just maybe they'll get Carlos Estevez back, although I guess they had a rainout last night in Omaha, so he still has not begun the rehab assignment. That's just unfortunate today, right? That's unfortunate timing for that. So, no, I think it's sustainable. Now, they're obviously going to have another losing streak at some point, and I always want to know, how do they handle that? Well, it's a lot easier to handle when you're a 500 ball club. So they're 2 away from getting back to 500. Then the losing 2 in a row doesn't feel as devastating. You lose 2 in a row while you're still below 500. 2 becomes 5 or 3 or 4 very, very, very quickly. So they're awfully close. And the way it's trending right now, who's to say they can't end up with a 6-1, 5-2 homestand?
Yeah.
I'm hoping 5-2. I'm almost now expecting.
Well, it's not that crazy. You're just asking them to go 3-2 in the next 5 games, and they're playing at home.
That's how big the start of the road the homestand is.
And the first 2 games, and this is an important part, the first 2 games they were pitching, starter 3 and 5, right? They weren't even at the top end of the rotation. They're technically supposed to be getting the top end of the rotation now going into it. And I don't, they've had to use their bullpen. Because of this winning streak has not been games they've won 9-1 a bunch. And most of them have required guys like Daniel Lynch, who, by the way, got the job done again last night, and Lucas Ursek, who once again got the job done last night. They will, at some point, Gold, give up another run. I think Daniel Lynch maybe just going to have one of those seasons. I don't think, I haven't seen a season like Wade Davis's where he essentially just went 30 straight outings without giving up, or like Mason Miller's been doing, right? Those kind of stretches in baseball do not happen very often, but they're in the middle of it. That would, in fairness, Gold, you had said they're not getting out of this world performances out of the starting rotation or out of the lineup. The bullpen is the one part where I would say they're not going to just go scoreless every outing forever, right? That's the one end where at least, I don't know. Now, in fairness, Daniel Lynch gave up a couple of runs just a few nights ago against Seattle. It's just every other outing this year, he's only given up a run in 2 of all of his outings. 2 runs against the Mariners and what ended up being the win over the weekend, and then 1 in the second appearance of the season against Minnesota. And that has been perfect. It's crazy.
This year, we've partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. And at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team, you see the best in KC. Schedule today at kcuc.com. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we'll talk about the World Cup. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of the conversation the last couple of days around where things are trending, unfortunately, for hotels in the area, therefore what it could tell us about who's not maybe coming to town for the World Cup, where we're about a month or so away, month and a half away from the World Cup coming to Kansas City. So we'll get into that and some of the comments and tweets I saw from the mayor as well. And now has the goalpost been moved for this event? We'll get to that in just a bit.
I forgot what the deal was. Somebody asked on the text line, by the way. Then we'll talk a little Chiefs football. What was my deal for shaving?
If the Royals are in first place.
I got to shave today. Yeah,
if the Royals are in first place, then you can't shave.
Tonight,
so.
I can't,
Correct.
I can't be risking it. I got to shave today. I can't be risking the fact that they get in first place tonight and then I'm just stuck not shaving the rest of the season. I forgot I made that deal that if any point, and for a while.
You thought you were safe.
I wasn't sure if they'd ever be in first place again this year.
For sure.
They were 9 games below 500. They were 8-17 2 weeks ago. So,
Someone says, hilarious. 2 weeks ago, the station was saying it was too early to look at the standings. Now everybody's saying, look at the standings. So, one, the team has changed quickly. I would also say that's kind of the point, right?
That's how calendars work.
That is kind of how things work. That checking the standings a month into the season is different than a week into the season.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I guess that was part of the point we were making is you can't, when they were not at 8-17, 8-17, we were pretty worried. But I still will maintain the standings itself. I want them to get back to 500 because as far as the yes, they could be below 500 in a first place team tonight. We know you're not winning the division without being above 500. So I still don't care as much about the standings as other people do at this point because I know that they're going to have to at least be 5 games above 500 to have a chance to win the division. I guess the point is for me now, the standings matter in the sense that I know now all they have to do is play better baseball than the Guardians and Tigers the rest of the way. They don't have to play 5 games better than them or 6 games better than them. They just have to play better than them.
The Tigers now have their ace, out for months.
Yeah,
so
which certainly is not nothing. But you guys had mentioned, and I think we gave Drew a hard time maybe a month ago in talking about the upcoming Bengals season. And I feel like people have started to talk about the Chiefs season this way, so I want to get a vibe of it. Are Chiefs fans okay with just a playoff trip this year? Is that enough? Because I feel like we're already softening the stretch of, maybe it's a slight half rebuild-ish year.
Wow.
And we'll go into the playoffs. And you've openly said that you think 2027 is a more important, more likely Super Bowl trip year.
Yeah, I don't believe they are a Super Bowl contender this year. I truly don't.
But does that mean they get to the playoffs, they lose in the divisional round, and it's you know what? Good enough. Are we already settling in for that level of performance? Because I don't feel like I ever want to do that in a Mahomes year.
I hear you.
And some part of if they get to the playoffs under any circumstances will completely change my expectation once they're there, just knowing I don't care if the Texans were a better team than you. It's still C.J. Stroud versus Patrick Mahomes, which means I still think you should win. I still think any year at this point, Mahomes has ruined it. If you don't get to an AFC title game, some part of the year is not right. It's just not right.
Well, I don't expect any fan to be happy with a wild card trip and one and done. I don't expect any fan to be happy with a loss in a divisional round. I have just maintained that I think in 2026 they're not going to be one of the top 3 or so teams in the AFC, and therefore, in my opinion, they're not a true Super Bowl contender. Now, admittedly, if they get into the postseason and they're playing well and they have to go on the road, I think counting them out necessarily would be silly. Anything can happen in the playoffs, but This idea that they're going into the season and they're a favorite to come out of the AFC. That's not happening this year in 2026. I think this roster still has a lot of questions. To me, it's a 2-year plan. They address the defense this offseason, likely going to have to go heavy on the offense an offseason from now, and they're set up maybe for 2027 and beyond. This is not about just getting it right for 26. It's about getting it right for 27 through 2030 and beyond, and that might be a 2-year type of plan. So, yeah, will it be happy? No, but I guess I'm just going in with lower expectations personally. So my disappointment level, if you tell me that they lose in divisional round weekend or wild card weekend, will not be the same disappointment as I would have had if it happened last year or the year before.
Yeah, and I guess that's...
And last year was obviously disappointing. They won 6 games.
Well, yeah, last year nobody's debating what the level of disappointment was. Massively disappointing in an epic fashion. That's the worst season. I hope it's the worst season we ever experienced under Patrick Mahomes. I just also think that it's not unfair because part of the reason I think AFC Championship game is still the bar where I'm going to be disappointed. Just this far out. And like obviously the flow of the season can change it once we get to November, December.
Oh, yeah, the last month, if everything comes together and clicks, of course, people will have different, even if they're a wild card team, people might believe they're in a better spot.
I think part of the reason that it's felt different for me, or at least I still feel like there's a level of playoff they got to get to, is I have consistently watched this team not be the best team and still go further than some teams. Win Super Bowls over teams who I think are better teams.
Well, let me ask you that. You're right, but let me ask you, even in those years, they were still winning 13 games. Do you actually think this team this year is going to win 12 or 13 games? Because you're right.
If you made me guess today, no.
Because the year go back. What was the year where Mahomes had to go on the road for 3 games? What was how many wins did they have? They didn't have a 10-win season, right? Wasn't that still at 11 or 12? 11 or 12. So 11 to me, I guess that's the question. Like I view them more as like a 10-win football team this year. If you think they're winning 13 games, well then obviously you think they're a Super Bowl contender. They're going to win the division if they win 13 games this year.
I guess I think that it's going to be an 11-win team. Like if you made me guess May 6th, like they haven't signed another veteran defensive lineman, or we think there's a chance they bring Tyreek back or any of the others. Not knowing the full entirety of the roster, I'd still bank on 11 wins. I don't know. And part of that is because if you made me guess today, Patrick Mahomes plays game 1. Brett Veach said he's way ahead of schedule. And not that should surprise us because everything he's done to this point has implied that he's way ahead of schedule. So I have a hard time ignoring that end of it. But it's like, yeah, I do kind of think that if they get in the playoffs, I'm going to like them better than any of the other AFC teams. Unless for some reason it's back to being fully loaded, as in the top 3 teams in the conference are the Bills, Bengals, Ravens, and all the big boy quarterbacks are on the best teams. But if it's like the best teams are the ones led by like the Texans might very well have one of the 2 best rosters in the AFC.
Do you consider it a Super Bowl or bust season? I know typically we say under Patrick Mahomes,
title game or bust season. I guess.
Okay.
Is how I would
so is your question they make the playoffs and they don't win a game, or your question is they
make the playoffs and they either flame out in the wild card of the divisional round?
Okay, so
a normal NFL team.
Well, that was going to be my point. So if they make the playoffs and they win their wild card game, but then they lose in the divisional round to the Ravens, who end up going on to win the Super Bowl, I don't think you can. I think that you're just living in the reality of what every other team is in, and I think that's even more. Even Tom Brady's Patriots, we talked about, they lost in the divisional round before previously as well. You're not always going to be Superman, and at some point you're going to wake up in reality, and maybe this is the season with Mahomes getting hurt and all these other things and all the rebuilding or retooling they've had to do, where you're okay with this year being what it is. But
yeah,
I don't think you would. It makes much sense for you to say the team. Let's say they even made it to an AFC title game and they lost. I don't. Even if they lose in the divisional round and they lose, if they lose to a team that wins the Super Bowl, I don't see how you can be disappointed, because that could have happened any other year.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just because they've been so good here the last decade, or the last 5 to 7 years or whatever it is, that would be a quote unquote disappointment.
Yeah, someone's saying, who are you afraid of in the AFC? That's not even the point I'm trying to make. It's more that, to me, the Chiefs are in the wash with everybody else entering this season. And so, on one hand, if you're optimistic, you can say, well, they're in the wash, so they're a Super Bowl contender. I'm taking more the stance of they're in the wash. They're not, other than history, they're not any different than about 5 or 6 other teams in the AFC. And I guess that's kind of my point. If I told you last year that they were in the wash, you would that point you guys would have thought that was crazy as well. I'm saying that this team is no different than about 6 other teams in the AFC. And you could say, yeah, they are. They have Patrick Mahomes. Fair enough. That will matter maybe come playoff time if they get in the dance.
I think that's part
right?
of it, yeah.
I'm with you as well. If the Chiefs are in the postseason, I will talk myself into them winning multiple playoff games. But heading into this year, no, I do not think they go in at anywhere near where they have in prior seasons.
Fair.
2 years ago, nobody was trying to make the case that they were like everybody else. It was like, no, they're still the kings of the AFC. They still got everybody else to prove that they can beat them. The Chiefs, I'm just saying, are entering the season no different than everybody else.
It's weird. I will care more about the regular season games before, and I'd be like, I don't care if the Ravens beat them in week 3. What does that tell us? No, like beating Cincinnati or the Ravens or any of these other teams is actually a bit truth-telling this year. Beating the Bills, you need to stack yourself up against some of those teams for the first time.
There are a ton of unknowns with just with this conference. You know, the Bills didn't win the division. Can they bounce? Are the Patriots as good as we think they are? You know, and all these other things. Are the Ravens going to bounce back? The Bengals, are the Chiefs able to bounce back? Like, is Bo Nix going to be healthy? All these other things. There's so many questions going in about this conference. We could see the most change we've ever seen from playoff to non-playoff and vice versa.
All right, coming up next, guys, let's talk about the World Cup. A lot of news coming out around the expectations for next month in Kansas City. Is it actually going to live up to the hype? Let's dive into that next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
It is out of here.
Man, if your strain isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Been putting off some much-needed painting? Well, don't wait. Trust the professionals at CertaPro Painters to get the job done right. With over 70,000 five-star reviews, they make the process worry-free, starting with a detailed proposal and ending with a professional result at the right price. Ask about their spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
At Telly Tire, when it comes to car problems, we've heard it all. From tires to timing belts to faulty air conditioning. Ooh. At Telly Tire and Auto Centers, we've been fixing problems like these and customers' bad days for over 80 years. So relax and take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Hello?
Hey sis, got a sec?
Yeah, what's up?
Take a look at the picture I just sent you. I'm walking into Hellsburg and want to get Mom something special for Mother's Day.
Yeah, she's done so much for us this year. Let's see. Diamond pendant. Oh, she'd love this.
Great. I'll get this, which means you're in charge of flowers.
Okay, deal.
This Mother's Day, save up to 50% on timeless gifts for Mom. Shop at a store near you or at Hellsburg.com.
The sun's out, the bags are packed, and the spring getaway is finally here. Start your vacation on a high note at Park & Go. Don't let your car bake in the sun while you're away. Every single spot is covered, keeping your car cool and protected from the elements while you're gone. Just park and relax. Park & Go's free shuttle meets you right at your trunk, helps with the bags, and whisks you to the terminal. No long walks, no hidden fees, just great service and family-owned care 24/7. Reserve today at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, the best way to start your getaway.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi?
And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Hey KC, Alex Gold here from The Fan, inviting you to join us for the Victory Run 5K by Planet Fitness, happening Saturday, May 9th at Sporting KC Park Plaza, with a unique course around the Kansas Speedway. Whether you run or walk, bring your friends, bring the family, and don't miss the Kids Dash, all while supporting the Victory Project, helping kids battling cancer experience unforgettable soccer moments. Sign up now and use promo code RUNKC for 50% off. But don't wait, race day is almost here. That's promo code RUNKC for half off. We'll see you Saturday morning at the Victory Run.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Brought to you by RPM Revival this weekend at Flying H Drag Strip. More at RaceRPMRevival.com. RPM Revival at Flying H Drag Strip this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, presented by Monster Energy. The fastest street cars in the country throwing down, including Kids Power Wheels Racing, Burnout Contest, and Car Show. Pre-sale tickets just $20. Kids 12 and under free. More at RaceRPMRevival.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
10:30 here on a Wednesday, just after 10:30. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get back into the Royals here in 8 minutes or so. They, of course, have won 5 in a row, now just 2 games under 500. That was even with Noah Cameron having to skip a start yesterday. Stephen Kolek was phenomenal for the Royals in that particular spot. So we'll get back to that. We'll keep an eye on the Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965, and video stream up and running on X, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere you want to consume the show, you can do that.
There were some rumblings, but I guess we'll pass along some news in baseball as it relates to the American League. Official, the Astros have announced that Carlos Correa will have surgery on his left ankle and is out for the season.
Damn, and because he returned after he got traded from Minnesota last year.
Yep.
Back to Houston, and that's a big-time blow to the Houston Astros. Jordan Alvarez has been phenomenal this year, but that's big-time injury in the AL West.
Well, and Carlos Correa's played well this year, so it's not even like they're getting, like Carlos had a couple of, mediocre. I wouldn't call them bad. That'd be too strong. Years in Minnesota, but this year was hitting .279 with a .370 on base percentage. Had 3 homers and 16 RBI, so a figure in the middle of their order, now done for the season. So yet another a huge American League injury. Obviously, Tarek Skubal, who's going to miss at least some serious time for the Detroit Tigers, not out for the year. And now Carlos Correa, who is out for the season. The Astros currently 15-22 already on the season, so that might be all she wrote for the Astros. That's all. Let's talk about the World Cup, though.
Next month.
I told you last Thursday I was gone to sit on a panel discussing the World Cup, and I swear to you, it turned like maybe halfway through it, Gold. Everyone's like, well, we're not trying to be all negative about it, but like some of these forecasts you can't really trust until things get a little bit closer to it, and it doesn't feel like it's trending in a direction even then last week that it's going to be that big. Now we're getting articles. Forbes is writing about how 8 of the World Cup cities are experiencing far lower than normal average numbers, but now, specifically in Kansas City, things aren't looking all that good.
And Kansas City Star had an article on this, says that somewhere between 85% and 90% of Kansas City hotels are currently booking below expectations. And that's, 6.5 weeks away from the start of the tournament. And it goes on to say many hotels are running behind what they'd see in a typical June or July with nothing going on. So it's not even just pacing below expectation. It is lower than what a typical summer would be right now. And that goes back to something we had mentioned maybe a week or two ago, where some of the airline flights that were coming in, based on projections on how full those flights are and the amount, it didn't add up. Like the estimates did not add up for it to equal what everybody was saying it's going to be.
650,000 visitors to the area. Remember, that's what they were telling us?
But it does mention a lot of this blame can be on FIFA, of course, who is in charge of the FIFA World Cup. And that is that they reserved, according to this article, massive blocks of hotel rooms across all these host cities, which created, the appearance of strong demand, but it really wasn't there. And therefore, you saw the prices go up. And in Kansas City, it says 70% to 95% of FIFA's inventory is now back in circulation. And so all of a sudden, they reference, you can go and get a $400 a night hotel room at the Lowe's for the Algeria-Austria match. And we all know that's like one of the nicest hotels in Kansas City, one of the newest hotels in Kansas City as well. And so FIFA kind of screwed this up in a variety of ways for the host cities, both with how they did the room blocks. We all know the Kansas City, I think, transportation-wise is better than some others. But we've talked about the story out of New Jersey and New York, where the transportation cost is crazy. We had the audio we played of the governor, I think it was, of New Jersey, who was pushing back against some of the pricing from FIFA as well.
Well, again, I think there's a lot of reasons. Obviously, I think there's like political reasons at play, and like global political, and like things that are having an impact as well.
It's definitely a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, the cost of travel is very high right now. You mentioned, what's going on in the world. I also think the fact that in Kansas City, one of the countries that is playing here, if they want to have their fans come here, they have to do a $15,000 loan essentially, or bond through the Visa program.
And so that's going to deter. And I just think that some of it is that, right? Just like the normal stuff, the things outside of the sports world that deal with it. But the idea that yesterday, and you pointed this out, the mayor started saying like, oh no, it could still be big, just Kansas Cityans have to show up. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
That's not the thing that we were talking about this whole time. That's the biggest move of a goalpost maybe ever. That's not fair to put it on everybody in Kansas City now to prop this thing up.
He was responding to the tweet from David Hudnall, who's a writer over at the Star, who said, hey, quote, the thing nobody wants to say out loud is getting hard to ignore. Kansas City's World Cup is shaping up to be a bust. The Mayor Quinn Lucas, responded and said, quote, I think bust is a bit early to declare. Global chaos, immigration challenges, rising expenses aren't helpful, no doubt, but I think it succeeds if Kansas Cityans realize it's also for them. Biggest mistake of the NFL draft was suggesting people avoid downtown and the like. I don't disagree that there are probably some people that think that, I can't go because it's whatever. But if the success of the World Cup now in Kansas City is determined by people in the suburbs going downtown, that's not what this was supposed to be about. This was supposed to be about 600,000 visitors coming to Kansas City from the region, whether it's just the Midwest region, whether it's elsewhere in the U.S., whether it's international visitors. If it's now relying on you, Cody, up in Gladstone, or someone in Lee Summit or Overland Park or wherever,
filling up the entire fan fest
that's
area.
not what that's not what this was supposed to be.
Well, and it's a 3-week thing, so you're asking everybody to go all the time? Like, it is, admittedly, very difficult in order to try to figure out and request and figure that and work the math on that. And so, like, that's, and also, I will say, for somebody who, like, and it's his job, I would say, it is the mayor's job in order to, like, keep things calm in this way. Like,
sure.
It's as close to panicking, in my opinion, for someone whose job it is to be ultimate city optimist to say, I wouldn't call it a bust yet. Woo! Whoa, those are dangerous words. Because you're not willing to say it would never be a bust. This thing's definitely going to work.
You're like trying to cope with the potential of it.
Yeah, you're looking for an out.
Do you,
in my opinion, like that's softening the language significantly from the 650,000 foreign visitors to the city pouring into Kansas City. And look, for Kansas City, it's worse than some of the other ones right now, which is deeply concerning. And like, this is a huge event that we want to host. We want people here for it. I understand the desire to not be like inundated with the city and being busy for 39 days you're not accustomed to. But in the end, it's a good thing for the city that people come here. So like, I was excited about the prospect of it. Now I'm worried it's going to fall quite a bit flat of that.
So somebody mentioned this, and I want to see what you guys think. Okay. They mentioned, if I'm traveling from another country, I'm not going to Kansas City. I'm going to L.A. or Miami or Dallas or anything like that.
Plenty of
so
that.
I looked up Argentina and their schedule. They obviously play one game at Arrowhead. They play their other two in Arlington. If you're, and I know that Argentina is going to be based here and everything like that, but if you're, is that anything for Kansas City itself? Because this is one of the places, obviously, that is, and one we're in Kansas City, but it's one of the places that's obviously falling below expectations, and not that LA or Miami are not, but we haven't heard anything like that. Is that part of maybe the reason is fans are looking at where their team's playing and are deciding, well, if I'm an Argentinian fan, I'm going to go to Dallas instead of Kansas City because they play, one, more games in Dallas, and two, Dallas is a bigger city. I want to go to Dallas. Is there any of that that could be an underlying?
Well, I think I definitely think if you're a fan and you have the means from another country to come to this country and watch matches, and you're financially in a spot where you can do it, yeah, you're going to go where a majority of their matches are. I think that's part of it. But also, again, that was not what everybody was sold. When this all
100%
was announced. I do think Kansas City, the part that is a little different than even Arlington and some of these other places too, is what I said about Algeria, which is one of your countries that are playing games at Arrowhead that are based in Lawrence for their fans to come. They have to all of a sudden come up with $15,000.
Yeah, which is
through the visa program.
And I would say, like, I'm just looking at like a hotel's website. The same as like for the same dates I booked in Fort Worth, where I told you I had to pay exorbitant fees more than I was paying last year to go to the same city. This is also part of it, though. It is part of you eventually to adjust. If I go on a website right now for booking of it, they're still asking for a regular hotel in a regular area, $400 a night. Well, that's not going to drive anyone here. If you're pacing below, at some point, the price correction, I feel like, in the local hotel
somebody
market
tweeted at us
needs
yesterday
to come back down to earth.
Just to get people
Somebody tweeted at the three of us yesterday that, and I'm assuming this person's not alone, right? Usually if you have one person suggesting this, that they're staying in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay, 2.5 hours or whatever away from here. They're staying there because of the hotel price, and then they're planning on driving to Kansas City for the match.
A Crown Center hotel, not like anyone specific, several of them are $500 a night. Regular, just like, the American Inn in North Kansas City. The one that lists the price in neon off the highway. $360 a night. So it's just like,
I think I drive by that I drive by that every day when I go home.
I'm describing it that way for a reason, okay? And so like
American Inn is all you needed to say, and then we would understand.
No, we all know which hotel. Yeah,
but in a lot of ways, it's like
what hotel is that? Yeah,
it's more expensive. I get it. All the other stuff, but it does feel like they really bungled this thing of FIFA promised some level of affordability.
Deserves a lot of blame here too.
FIFA promised some level of affordability here, and it's like the opposite. So like, if the game was slightly more affordable, maybe that hotel price doesn't feel like such a rough go of it. I know I got to pay more. I get it. I'm going to a World Cup city, all the stuff that comes with it. But if it's like,
the ticket prices are insane.
The ticket prices are crazy.
Yeah, the ticket prices are sky high.
Do we know? Do we know if that's? Obviously, we don't, or I don't. Is this like an America thing of them raising the prices like this, or is this something that happened in?
It's the most expensive World Cup ever.
Yes, I think. I mean, I think. the fact that North America also is hosting, it's not one, it's not just
It'd
like,
borderline be cheaper for me to go to wherever the next World Cup is and fly there and stay there.
Honestly,
and,
so
like,
I think
than to go to
that
one in
also
my
is
city.
that also is part of it, because like if you look back at, I think it was in Qatar in 2022, they didn't have this problem and everything like that. Maybe it's a little bit of everything, but I think
there's
the
a lot of
prices
greed.
too.
There's a lot of greed involved in what is happening with the World Cup
correct.
in the United States. And look, we're not going to go down this road of politics by any means, but obviously I think anybody can recognize there is certainly a lot going on in the world in the political climate that might also be in, and that's just a fact. I'm sorry.
It's a culminating factor in all of it.
Yeah.
It's like all of it together is FIFA and what you mentioned.
Yeah.
And
I will also say too, given these like numbers and projections, I think it's nice that I guess the country itself is blessed to be in a situation where they didn't have to build many buildings like a lot of these other, because if you look at the other countries that spend millions and billions of dollars to make sure that it's accessible for everybody, and then after the World Cup's done, it gets used for nothing, and it's almost like a waste of money essentially. I mean, that's from that standpoint, it is nice that we also have the infrastructure to be able to make this happen.
Am I still excited for it? Absolutely.
Same.
I just am disappointed that it is trending towards not being as big of an impact to the area as everybody believed or was sold that it was going to be. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe it ends up being that. I sure hope so. Yeah. I'm very excited for it. So we were just talking in our bullpen area before. We were looking at tickets and stuff. I'm planning to go to the Tunisia-Netherlands match as well. Drew's already got tickets. I've got tickets.
I continue to monitor the prices.
So I'm excited. I'm going to at least one of the matches, and I can't wait for it to experience. It is on it. We were talking bucket list events last week, the Derby, etc. The World Cup, going to World Cup in your hometown, that's pretty damn cool. Well, none of us are ever going to have that opportunity again. So
it's a once, like it really is. I mean, truthfully, it's a one-time opportunity, and same as you. I don't want to miss out on the chance to do it, and so like so much of that is just going to determine it. And look, the Airbnb prices are still crazy too. If people are asking about that, like nobody's course corrected on the price yet. Everyone's just waiting for this stuff to come down. Let's talk a little bit more about the Royals. We'll talk about them, of course, in the 11 o'clock hour as well. But I was thinking about the Royals are playing some great baseball. There are still a few people, and we mentioned sustainability. So, like, I guess a simple question for Royals fans, because I'll give my answer, who is the Royals player you're still, like, worried about? Because in order for them to maintain this level, some of the guys who are struggling are at some point going to need to do it. Now, I'll give you the 4 names I think pretty much everyone's going to list, and if there's somebody I'm missing, please let me know. Noah Cameron, Salvador Perez, Carlos Estevez, and Cole Reagans. Those seem to me to be the 4 most obvious answers for are concerning and have yet to like fully lock in for at any point this season. Look, like it or not, I've made this mistake on Salvio before. He will be at the bottom of my list if I were ranking those 4. My answer is Noah Cameron. And maybe not for the reasons of they can't cover it because of look how good Stephen Kolek was last night, but because sometimes it's the obvious answer in that he played above his ability, I think, last year. And the league course correction is coming hard and fast. And my fear always is that if you don't like find the way to balance it soon, that's when you end up having like one of those lost seasons. He hasn't got a single start where he hasn't given up any runs. And in his last 4 starts, he's given up 5, 3, and 4. Maybe it's been a back thing this whole time. He had said he felt a back thing in his last start. So like I can at least qualify one of those poor starts that maybe he hasn't felt right all year. Command's been off all year. But if you got back problems as a pitcher in May, unless you spend some time in the IL, it's hard to just think it's going to like magically go away. He's the guy on the list I think I'm the most worried about, like course correcting.
The only reason why I have kind of pumped the brakes on being concerned about Noah Cameron, this was before we even knew about the injury. If it's as minor as they're making out to be, then okay, I'm not going to be all that worried. He is still your 5th starter. You're right. Last year he was one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. He really was. Yeah. And far from a 5, he was pitching like in a number 1, number 2. So I didn't expect that this year. His numbers are not terribly far off what you would expect from a number 5 starter if you go across baseball.
They're a little high.
But it's not astronomical. For a 5th starter, it's really not that far off. Yes, you would like it to be better. So that's why I'm not panicking there. Assuming his back can get corrected, as we joked yesterday, Vinny mentioned needing a new mattress. Maybe if it's just like, hey, Noah Cameron needs a better mattress, help the guy out here a little bit, and it's very minor and he misses the one start that we saw and he doesn't have to sit out this entire month or something like that, then I'm not concerned about that. I also would say, seeing what Kolek did, maybe if it caused him to miss a couple weeks, that being Noah Cameron, maybe you feel better about that situation because you've got Kolek behind him. So I'm not that worried. I still think the number one concern from an individual player for me is actually a guy that has pitched in one game this year. That's Carlos Estevez.
Yeah, he has.
And he begins a rehab assignment today.
Tonight.
There was rained out yesterday, so it's today. I think they're playing 2 today in Omaha. And it's him because while the bullpen has been way better during this winning streak and this run here of the last week and a half, he was supposed to be their opening day closer. You're banking on that going into the season. He had 42 saves for you. Does he come back and does he have that velocity anywhere near where it needs to be? And if he doesn't, I know we all love what we're seeing from Lucas Erceg the last, again, couple of weeks, week and a half, but that will likely cause them at some point later on this year to have to go acquire somebody else if Carlos does not get back up to speed. And so I'm still most worried about him because you just wonder if the velocity thing is ever going to get there.
That's fair. And look, I see people mention Cole Reagans, which I think is a more than fair answer. Somebody mentioned Carter Jensen. He's in a 2 for 30 stretch. I don't know, man. Do I really need to worry about
It's his first
Carter
full
Jensen?
year in the big leagues. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, a 9-game slump in the middle of them winning, by the way, mind you, doesn't really overly concern me because if he felt like he was costing the team, he might feel a little bit different. The thing I can't figure out about Reagans is why has it been so much different at home versus away? Like, what's going on? At home, he has made 2 starts. He has a 0.75 ERA. He's made 5 road starts, in fairness, with a 7.97. Like, he's had 3 great starts, 1 average start, and 2 just straight up bad. So the ERA is not as bad as it looks because he had an outing in which he gave up 7 runs. He had an outing in which he gave up 3. That's normal. He had an outing in which he gave up 4. That's normal. And then it was 0 or 1 in the other ones. So, like, he's just like a mystery wrapped in a riddle. I can't figure out the consistencies. Walking too many guys, his command's not quite there. And specifically, he's been awful on the road. Now, he'll make a home start this time, so maybe all will feel well. He's just one, like, I don't want to panic on yet because I know the upper end talent's so good. So there, the point on Estevez is the talent's there sometimes, but like, you know, like you get older or maybe you just don't have the fastball velocity and you can't overcome it. The issue for Reagans is not throwing hard. It's on the outside of it. Somebody said they're worried about Vinny. I was like, he's hitting fine now too. I don't know. He's in a stretch hitting like 350 in the last 10 or 12 games. He's still hitting under 200, but like, also I know that the reason he's hitting under 200 is because he hit like $150 for the month of April. Like, I don't know. He's been a consistently poor performer in April. And so with Vinny, is he ever entered your mind? Would he be on this list if you were making out a list of he ranking the 26 members of the roster in most to least concerning?
Not now that he's had a good first 5 days in May. If the April struggles would last all the way into May, then I would be concerned.
That's fair.
Because remember, he also was coming off the back injury. Now, he told Vern the other night, he's like, hey, if I got a back problem, I'll basically, you'll know. I'll tell you. So they think it was pretty minor. And based on the results since that, he's been playing great. So, yeah, he's not on the concern list. Salvi is just an interesting one that people text in because we've gone through this now for 3 years in a row. And it's like, yes, he should not be playing every day. But also, we've seen plenty of times where in April and May, it's not pretty. And then all of a sudden, it's middle of June, it's July and August, and he looks like the Hall of Famer that he is.
Yeah. I will point out, I did go ahead and look it up. Vinny's career batting average in April is 207 with a 300 on base percentage. He hits 286 in May, 260 in June, 270 in July, 265 in August. It doesn't. Hits 322 in his career in September and October in 48 games.
Yeah, it's again, if he had the direct answer, they would have fixed that. I don't know what it is, and for this entire team, really, April
They had to be mental.
They had the whole WBC and the energy, and you know Michael Garcia, the MVP of the WBC, and then they lay an egg for 95% of April, and then here it's May, and they're the hottest team in baseball.
It'd be easy to, like, rather than celebrate the fact that they're the hottest team in baseball, get like mad that they were 8-17. But I've just decided I'm going to enjoy the winning for now. I can be mad at those games later if they're like 2 games back and it's September 15th. Then I'll be mad at the 8-17 stretch, and I imagine we'll reference it regularly. For now, I'm just hoping they play catch up. Today they could be in first place.
They could
in the AL Central. So go get another win tonight, fellas. You know? Keep the winning ways alive.
All right, coming up next, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes a little bit. We all know positive news towards him trending to be ready for training camp and potentially for week 1 of the season. And I mentioned something about the back half of his career, and that got you guys very nervous, I feel like, 2 days ago. Let's dive deeper into that, and we'll get to the trash of the day.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You're looking for roofing help? Century Roofing is the company you need to call. I trust them. You should trust them. They have been a great local company working with you every single day on your roof because they've handled 35,000 roofs in the area. They were voted best roofing company in Kansas City by readers over at the Kansas City Star. This is a company that you can trust because they have the experts and the expertise to continue to handle those needs. When we got hail a few weeks ago, they were out same day taking a look at it. You don't want some fly-by-night, knock-on-your-door roofer who might not be there to stand by your warranty. I told you. It was like a month ago. Sitting outside with a friend. That's what they did. And he was like, and then there was a problem, and then I had to hire a different roofing company to fix it because they weren't around. And those kinds of issues you don't want. Century Roofing stands behind their warranty and have done 30 years worth of roofing work in Kansas City and are locally owned and operated. So if you're worried about the next storm and you want to save a number, centuryroofingkc.com, or you had some roofing work or you think you might need some from the recent spring storms. It's been stormy in Kansas City. Make sure your roof is in great shape with a free estimate over at centuryroofingkc.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Jacob, your friend and an actual jeweler at Shane Company. I'm proud to work for a family business that's been committed to the highest quality standards for nearly 100 years. Your dream engagement ring is designed for quality every step of the way. We set your diamond by hand, never with machines. Prong tips are beautiful and secure, and intricate details are thoughtfully crafted. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship, because a friend knows true love deserves the highest quality. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The Royals and the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation are teaming up with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City to recognize outstanding high school sports coaches through the Blue KC Coaches with Character program. From April to September, we'll recognize 6 coaches as a Blue KC Coach with Character. Each honoree will receive a VIP package that includes tickets to a Royals game and more. Be part of honoring our high school coaches whose service is making Kansas City a better place to live, work, and play. Just go to bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character to nominate today.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, From disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down! Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time to spring into deals for Mother's Day at Lowe's. Shop select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15, and get Mom the perfect addition for her garden for less. Plus, get 3 free bags of Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil when you buy 3. Mom's garden is winning with these deals. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/6, excludes Alaska and Hawaii, while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour on a Wednesday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the trash of the day here in about 20 minutes. Also, the Chiefs Red Half Hour is a half hour away, including some comments from Gerald McCoy. He's talking about Patrick Mahomes and what version of Mahomes we might be seeing in the future, which also is kind of how we start the hour anyway. I made the kind of just a passing comment 2 days ago on the show. We were discussing just Patrick Mahomes and the expectations, and I just casually said, look, we're kind of on the back half of his career.
I didn't like that.
And Cody did not like me saying that we're on the back half of his career, and we are, by the way.
I don't like the sound of it.
I know, but we are.
I'm not arguing that. Clearly, that is an accurate statement. I guess, what are the expectations for the back half then? Like, if this is the back half of his career, is it fair to him to say, well, my expectations are the same the first half went? Is that
should be the hope? I don't think that should be the expectation.
I think it's an unfair expectation.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the expectation. I think that's the hope. Any Chiefs fan should hope that what you just saw is for his first, 8 years now, or 9 years? I'm sorry.
10.
Yeah, 9 years in the league, which is crazy. I guess I view it as 8 years playing because he didn't play his rookie year. But
which means he's only been in, I guess
8 years as the starter. How about that? 8 years as the starter, going to his 9th year as a starter. No, I don't think the expectation is that's going to go the exact same. I hope it's another 5 Super Bowl appearances, Cody, another 3 rings and two MVPs and all. I hope so. But I think as time goes on, we will appreciate even more what they were able to accomplish in the first 8 years of his time as a starter. Yeah. The chances of him getting another 3 rings are very slim. That's just the reality.
He's a 2-time MVP and a 3-time Super Bowl winner, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Okay,
I want to set that standard for the next decade.
Yeah. Look, trust me, I would love for him to go to another 4 Super Bowls and win another 2 or 3. There's just no guarantee. We also have a part that we do not have the answer to in this entire equation, which is how many of the next, let's call it 10 years of Mahomes' career. We'll make an even number.
Yeah.
Let's call it 10 more years. How many of those is Andy Reid coaching? How many of those is Brett Veach, the GM? You know what I mean?
Brett
That's
the
a
whole time.
whole new regime can change all of this, good or bad. It could be a great thing. It could be a terrible thing. I don't know.
So Brett Veach, I would still bank on the fact that he's likely to be, more likely than not, to be the GM during that entire run. Andy, optimist would say half. An optimist would say half. I think it's probably more like a third.
3 to 4 years.
Is probably, the more realistic stretch of that. So, but here's the thing. While I think it's unfair to say, hey, just, if you don't mind, those first 10 years, those first 9 years, just like that. Let's just run that one back, my guy. Just 9 years, just like that one. Clean and easy, Let's not think too hard about it. I think the realistic expectation should be 2 more rings and a couple more MVPs. I don't think that, based on the standard that he has set, is an unfair thing
How
for
many
him
is
to
that
say.
now? 3?
He's got 3 Super Bowl rings, 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 2 AP MVPs, 3 Super Bowl MVPs.
At this point, I'd be a little disappointed.
5 appearances.
5. At this point, I'd be a little bit disappointed if he didn't finish his career with 5 Super Bowl rings and 4 MVPs. And I know when it's premised, that sounds stupid, ridiculous even. But it's not, because he has spent 9 years in this league, 8 of which is a starter. And in the 8 years he started, 7 times he was in the AFC title game, 5 times he was in the Super Bowl, and 3 times he won it. I mean, that's a pretty crazy ratio he's operating with right now. He set the standard himself. Wouldn't you be disappointed if you finished with 4?
Oh, sure.
4 Super Bowl wins?
Disappointed?
I'd be disappointed.
Again, those are 2 different things. The expectation versus, where you're going to be disappointed. And the expectation cannot be that he's winning another 3 rings. That can't be the expectation. That's the hope. That's the hope. And realistically, what would be disappointing is if he only disappointing would be he only goes to 1 more Super Bowl. That would be very disappointing.
I was going to say, I think
that would be. I'd be devastated.
But that's as you said, that's the bar we've set. How spoiled we are now. Where another Super Bowl appearance and another ring will be like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel.
I know.
Way short.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if
that feels way short.
I agree, but that'd give him 4 rings.
I don't think it's the rings for me as much as it is the appearances.
How many more appearances do you think in the next 10 years should we expect?
3.
That is a reasoned number. What's crazy is that is a reasoned number. But in fairness, if I were a fan of, let's say they got shorter careers or whatever. Josh Allen and Joe Burrow also on. They're going to play identical number of years they already played. Their number should be set at 2, or I'd be disappointed. If I were a Joe Burrow fan, I'd be like, how many more Super Bowl appearances for the rest of his career? Better be 2.
He should get at least 1 more, I think.
Yeah, I think 2 with a win, or 1 with a win.
Because if you were to, because I went and I looked up the rings. So I will say, just looking at the names on the list, if you were to say Pat had 3 in the shortest amount of time, all these other things, if he only got 1 more, he's tied with Bradshaw and Montana.
Second most ever.
Yes, and he wouldn't have gotten to solo second. Mm-hmm. I think it's unreasonable to expect him to get to Brady's number. I think we've all just talked about it. It's unreasonable. But I do think it would be a little bit disappointing if he didn't pass Montana or Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, I want him to be unequivocally the second. I think it is a more than fair expectation based on how fast it started. This is faster than it started for Bradshaw, Montana. Hell, it's as fast as it started for Tom Brady. He ended up getting to 7 because he played till he was 45 years old.
Which is why you want him to get to 5.
And had a second resurgence at 38 or 39. Look, the fair part about this is, are we getting ready to, and what I fear quietly but don't want to think out loud, is he getting ready to go through the Brady run in his early 30s, which was, they didn't really do much. They went to 2 Super Bowls. He lost them both, which is a lot for most quarterbacks, but not much for Brady. And then it took until his late 30s to ramp back up again and start winning those
That would
things.
be with a different head coach at that point in time, if we're talking about the final.
Versus Tom, who had Belichick the whole time,
Final couple of years. Yeah, I mean, no doubt from a disappointing end, this is where we're at. If they, with Patrick Mahomes, only go to 1 more Super Bowl the rest of his career, it will be vastly disappointing. As odd as that sounds, if I would have told Chiefs fan if I would have told Chiefs fan in 2015, oh, by the way, you're gonna have a quarterback, he's gonna go to 5, get you 3 rings, but you're gonna be disappointed. Trust me. What? But that's where we're at. We are spoiled. And also, we recognize the greatness that is Patrick Mahomes. And so you feel like, hey, got to capitalize as much as possible on that. So you're asking what the expectation is. What do I actually think is going to happen? Not devastating, not expectations. What do I actually think?
How many more Super Bowls do you think he wins?
My guess is, we'll just, again, for the sake of the conversation, say he's playing another 10 years, just to keep it easy. My guess is he goes to 3 more and they win 2 more.
Okay. I think that should be the expectation, and that's a more than realistic one. Because anything short of that will feel like, oh, that's it. And I think it's fair to feel that way because the man lived in the AFC title game with a bunch of different teams and a bunch of different players. And while we're talking about that there might be a different coach, and I'm not saying that doesn't matter, he has seemingly let the parts change around him 1,000 times. And it wasn't until this year that those expectations eventually changed a little bit, and they came up way short of that. Up until that point, they were an unstoppable juggernaut.
Well, you guys treat it the same way as people did at the end with Brady, where let's say he goes 7 straight years now without a Super Bowl appearance. Will you say, all right, it's never happening, or will you always say no? As long as he is a starting quarterback in the league, okay.
Brady should have taught you a valuable lesson.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, because you know the conversation. Let's say they go 3 straight years now, including last year. Let's make it 4. So let's say they go 3 more after, going forward. So it'd be 4 straight years of not a Super Bowl. There would be a lot of people saying, oh, it's just never going to happen again. And that'll be the whole narrative the rest of his career.
Yeah, if they go the next 4 years without it happening,
people are going to be panicked.
If they go the next 4 or 3, you said
3 more, so include last year, so 4 in a row.
In fairness, I think it might not be Brett Veach working anymore.
Well, I would agree.
If they go 3 more without them making a Super Bowl, I think that him getting to 5 is probably done.
I just think that there's another, because he's a great quarterback, even if we don't think this roster is put together, and they go 4 years, I think it's foolish to think that he won't have one more run of a 3 or 4 year run where they draft great and it's full of great players, They only have to get one draft selection right to have a 2 or 3 year roster run where things look pretty good.
I guess maybe.
And so in those years, I just assume Mahomes will power through.
I think in order for him to get to 5, he's got to get one more with Andy Reid. If he doesn't get one, if he doesn't get another one with Andy Reid, then I think it's
hard to argue.
And I'm not saying that the next coach can't be as good as Andy or anything like that. It just feels like because Tom
the next coach won't be as good as Andy. It's just not going to be.
Because Tom had Bill for every one but the last one in Tampa, and I think that Pat, I think he has to, in order for him to get the 5, I think he needs to get one more. I think he needs to get one more with Andy, whether it's in the next 3 years or 4 years. I don't know how much longer Andy's coaching, but I think he's got to get at least one more. He's got to get one with Andy if he wants to get to 5. I mean, shoot, he might be able to win 2 with Andy, and then he's already at 5.
What's funny is I don't think Andy will quit until at least they're back in one. Let's say they went 2 more years without a Super Bowl, and they year 4. I think Andy will keep coaching until they're at least back in
until they
one.
get a chance to win another.
Knowing Andy,
I don't know, man.
I don't think you'll want to walk away after a couple of disappointment. Well, the health, yeah.
Well, no, I mean it depends how ugly it is too. Is it missing the playoffs or just coming up short at AFC title games?
Yeah, is it like last year or is it?
There's a difference.
If it's missing, then we're talking Philly sort of stuff. Where
exactly.
They might just be over it.
Exactly.
It might just be time.
I think that's the point. Like the text, Twitch mentioned it, Cashed Game mentioned over there, and you guys kind of said it, which is what's crazy is if in the next 10 years he only got one more Super Bowl, he would still have the second greatest career in NFL history. As stupid as that is, we'd all be disappointed with him finishing comfortably as the second most successful quarterback who's ever played the sport. But that's, again, it's like the standard is so out of whack that the Bills fans, if you just told them, hey, for the rest of Josh Allen's career, I'll lock in one Super Bowl win, they'd have to take it. Bengals would have to take it.
Yes.
Ravens would have to, they'd all have to take it. Even the quarterbacks you like that are young and you've barely seen play, you'd take it. If I told you Fernando Mendoza or Drake May or every single one of them would have to lock it in.
Denver, yes.
Of course.
I think you would, any team other than the Chiefs, honestly, any other than maybe the Rams too, I guess. But even the Rams maybe. But
Rams because they got Stafford.
But if you were to say like the Lions, they would have to take one. If you were to just say you can only win one for the rest of Goff's career, for the rest of Burrow, Jackson, whoever, everybody other than the Chiefs, you would have to lock it in.
Yep.
It's good to have standards. I like a little bit of change in it. You're going to be gone the next 2 days.
At least.
At least. What a threat.
Oh.
He says at least. He's already put, he's got contingency plans in place just in case he's unwell.
Are you going to tell us why? Unlike it took Cody for 5 days, 3 days to tell us?
Yeah, I'm not going to leave you guys out just with not knowing why I'm gone.
I heard? And then you can tell me the real reason? What I heard is that it was cosmetic surgery. That you're trying to... wait. Alex has been working out. Now he's look maxing. His plan is to...
Plastic surgery time now.
Plastic surgery time. He's been working out, getting in good shape, and he's like, what's a light Thursday surgery to make myself, as perfect as I want to be? That's what I heard. The rumor on the street was that. What's the reason you're telling us?
That is an incorrect rumor.
Okay.
That is incorrect. I am working out and stuff, but the surgery has nothing to do with any of that. You guys know, if anybody's listened to the show for any period of time, for 3+ years, I have not been able to smell. Had the sinus infections. Remember, I went to the ENT like a month ago. I was on antibiotics. The smell came back briefly. Well, it went back away. I had a follow-up appointment. Basically, I was told we can keep doing this antibiotic thing, but actually, we need to go in and do surgery, and let's do sinus surgery. So, yeah, I'm going in tomorrow.
Wow.
Sinus surgery, and I have a deviated septum, and they're going to do something with something else in my nose. So it's all internal. There's no external incision.
They're not breaking the nose.
Not breaking the nose. There's no external incision. It's all
I'll
internal.
judge that when I see it after.
I mean, it might be swollen. It's definitely going to be swollen. So, yeah, I go in tomorrow morning. I'm hoping to be back Monday, but quite honestly, I really don't know because I'm going to have stents up my nose until next Wednesday afternoon. So I'm not going to breathe through my nose. So I'm going to sound very nasally. I just don't know how I'm going to be feeling, and can I do a radio show
Will it feel like
on
doing
Monday?
a cold, or will it feel like some worse version of that?
So long term, it's going to be, I think, great. I can't wait, hopefully, to
Is
get my
this
smell
Dr.
back.
Seaman taking care of you?
It is Dr. Seaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been great.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm excited to get this corrected finally. It's been a 3+ year process, as you know.
So the pills didn't take.
They did not. So, I think it's going to suck for at least 4 or 5 days. Like, I've been told the recovery is not the greatest thing. I got everything laid out and ready to go. I got to do the nasal rinses and all this stuff. And the splints, I've watched videos on the splint removal. Everybody says, right, once the splints are out, then like, you're
freedom.
Like, oh my gosh.
There you go.
But it's going to suck for a couple days, I think.
Yeah,
but
I would say so.
I'm not looking forward to the next few days, but long term, I think it's going to be.
Did
great.
you force them to give you a percentage chance that you'll be able to smell like old again?
He didn't. He said, I can't promise you you'll get 100% of your smell back. But the fact that the antibiotic brought it back temporarily is a great sign that, like, basically the airflow is not getting to your nerves that allow you to smell. And so that's how congested and inflamed my sinuses have been.
Well, and when you're taking the anti-inflammatories, you said you could smell and taste more.
Yeah, and like I was,
he got a taste of what
I did.
it was like.
And
to taste.
the doctor also said basically, you may not even realize how poor you are getting airflow through your nose anyway. And like the sinus, like you might have got accustomed to the sinus pressure that doesn't feel as bad as what it once did, and you don't realize how like lack of normal breathing essentially that you're
Do you
getting.
have to like stay out of a pool or anything like
there was a whole
weird
list
or
of
whatever?
stuff. There was a list of stuff
For like a month?
I had to stop, like, just because going into surgery, I had to stop taking like even like vitamins and some stuff like that. I can't work out for 10 days after. So that was the biggest thing. No lifting, can't work out. You know,
I guess it's like,
and the biggest thing, because it's just like so much all the time as Cody, with his hernia as well.
Mm-hmm.
No sex for 10+ days either. It's a big bummer. It's a huge bummer. Yeah,
harder in the married life. Like I can't imagine you with 2 splints shoved up your nose trying to pick up a girl at the bar on Sunday night. What a move that would be.
I'm not looking forward to being like, because I'm not like last night. It was Cinco de Mayo, so I went out with people. That was like the last night I'm going out for a bit because. I'm definitely not going to do anything while the stents are still in. And then even after that, I don't know. Like for it to fully be healed, it's a couple month thing for like all the tissue to fully heal back up. But yeah, so
You have to tell us how bad it was.
excited, but also like nervous, but also excited because hopefully this can be done. It's been annoying for 3+ years, man. I'm sick of it.
I didn't find the hernia surgery to be as painful as some people were warning me it was going to be. So like, I don't know if that's
good.
Maybe it was just like not as bad of a repair.
Yeah.
Or that. So like with the nose stuff, it's like it impacts people differently. So I'm curious to see.
Text line, a lot of people saying they've had the surgery. They said
it's horrible.
Rinsing out your sinuses after surgery, not an enjoyable experience. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Well,
So you'll be out of sorts for a solid week. We'll see. I don't know. Again, the boss already knows there's a chance Monday, whatever. I think until
it
the
might
stents,
be me and Alex on Monday. It might be me and Jay Binkley on Monday.
Yeah, until the stents are out Wednesday afternoon. I don't know if it'll be great. We'll see.
It's probably not going to be comfortable. I'll say that.
It's not going to be good. But I think Friday and Saturday are going to be the 2 worst days.
I don't know if this person fully understands.
You're going to look like Michael Jackson.
I'm not having plastic surgery. Cody keeps telling people Cody's telling people I'm having rhinoplasty. That's not what it is. It's septoplasty, which is a for the deviated septum and then sinus surgery. I'm weird about surgery though, where it's like I want to know exactly what's going to happen. So I've made the mistake of going and watching a YouTube video about.
I don't do any of that. I
did. Yeah. So I know way too much about every little. Like they literally go up your nose with this thing that looks like it's like a roto-rooter basically, and they're literally just trimming up tissue. Just cutting it out. It's like okay.
I just trust that they know what they're doing. I didn't look up a single thing and haven't since about hernia surgery. Just said, all right, well, just fix it, I guess. Problem solved.
Someone told Cody. Cody's no longer allowed to fart in studio. Cody's been letting it rip, and I haven't been able to smell it for years.
It's a shared space.
I'm going to call you out now anytime I smell it.
That might be the weirdest thing. The fact that you have it, like you'll have to, I don't know if there's something that you normally were able to smell.
The food
you just
taste
haven't.
is going to be the best part, Drew.
Yeah, it's going to be like a rejuvenated experience. Like you're going to be able to enjoy that stuff all over again.
I can taste food now, but it's at a different level than what it's supposed to be because, of course, you're not getting the same sense of smell. So I can't tell. Someone says.
Now they're making other accusations about how you got here. You know,
I can confirm that did not happen.
That's not the reason.
From the A16 at the top there.
Someone says I knew you were a party animal.
Yeah, it was not because of that. No.
Not that. That's
I
not
wish I had a great story. You know the truth? It all happened after COVID. I got COVID and suddenly I couldn't smell. That's truly what happened. And suddenly I had sinus infections all the time, and it sucks.
Weird how many of our listeners have had this surgery, I'll say.
Deviated septums and sinus surgery are very common. The doctor said, because I asked him, like, hey, how common is it? He's like, oh, I did 3 of them today. So, like, it's something.
Today?
Back when I had the appointment. So, like, yeah, this is a very common surgery.
I wonder if it is mainly due to, I wonder if it's due to COVID, though. Like, post-COVID, if the numbers just kind of.
I think COVID caused the initial sinus infection and inflammation just never went away. And stuff. So, I don't know. That's what's going on. That's
what
why
is
I won't
the first thing you're going to eat? Somebody's asking. That also, are you going to
like once the stents are out, I can fully smell. Assuming I can smell. I don't know.
It'll probably be a month.
I think you got to like reward yourself
and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how long. I don't know. Like you guys know I used to go to Chipotle all the time.
Just get a big steak.
Yeah, the flavor of it.
I think you need to be rewarded. Yeah, with something nice.
Go to Jess and Jim's or one of the other many nice.
Maybe that's when I'll go to 18. What's it called?
1801 Chop House or Patrick Mahomes' place.
That's what I was thinking.
You go to 1587.
1587. Yeah. Someone says, this is the part, this is fair. This is the part I'm actually most concerned about. And someone says, do you think it will change the sound of your voice? That's the part.
Like in your head or just in general?
Oh, just the way that it sounds like to us?
Yeah. I was told it's not going to really do anything, but I've read stuff and it's like, it depends. And that's the only part that I'm like.
That would be.
Everyone will get used to it after like a week. Although in fairness, I've had 72 straight hours of people telling me I look like a freak of nature because I don't have glasses on. So, like, who the hell knows?
Oh no, Cody. If his voice does change a little bit though, the first time that you talk to him, you'll notice it'll be oh okay. You'll have to get used to it obviously, but it'll be.
I'll make a judgment after a month. You're gonna sound weird for a little bit just because of the inflammation.
Well, if I'm back on Monday with a Stinson, I'm gonna. I mean, there's no.
You sound like you have a
I'm
cold.
going to sound extremely nasal.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's up. If Bink's kind enough to fill in Thursday and Friday, hopefully I am back on the show Monday.
We'll keep our fingers crossed, but we're not going to.
Yeah. I truly don't know. I don't know yet. Yeah. All right. Let's do a quick trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, let's go to Arkansas for this one. How about this? A school director was convicted of running a fight club for kids. So a lot of rules have been broken here. Somebody started talking about the fight club for starters, so that was a big problem. But more
That's
importantly,
the number 1 rule. That's the first and second rule.
I know. Well, cops arrested Mary Tracy Morrison, the owner and director of the Delta Institute for the Developing Brain in 2025 after a video showed a horrific gathering where a child was forced to sit on the floor in a circle of 18 other kids. According to an affidavit, she told other children to hit the child in the circle center, berated the victim. She then reportedly high-fived the student after beating. She set up a fight club. She pled guilty to 1 count of child abuse, 4 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile.
That's it?
She sentenced her to 30 days in jail, 120 days of house arrest with electric monitoring. That's it? That's all she got.
She started a child fight club, and that's the punishment? 30 days?
Go. Can you? What's the institute that she teaches at again, or she runs?
The Delta Institute for the Developing Brain.
Yeah, and then so for the developing brain, we're gonna have you sit in the middle of a circle and get just beat up.
Yeah,
this is really gonna help.
This is bleak as hell.
Jeez, she deserves more than that. I would say. I'm surprised it's only 30 days.
How old were these kids? It just says
or middle school.
No, younger than that. I thought.
Oh goodness.
Let me see.
Like toddlers?
Hold on. Let me get the exact. This it says.
None of it's good, but I'm just.
It does not. It just juvenile.
So it's like 13, 14 then.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say the exact age actually.
A 13-year-old child had been subjected to.
Okay, so there you go.
Like probably like early teens, but still, that's like that is awful.
Yep.
To be clear, there was no
this,
fight
though?
club. They said it's a mischaracterization, according to her lawyer. I
well,
don't know.
I'm sure they don't want that.
Yeah, certainly sounds like a
It's
fight
an
club.
institute to help develop. It doesn't sound like a regular school, like a high school. It sounds like an institute. I don't know what.
Could be for a lot of reasons, though.
Yeah.
I don't know the reasoning behind it, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did you even ever get close to being in a fight in school?
No.
Like, if you were close. Gold, did you ever get close?
I actually know. You know what?
In
That
school,
actually is
I
not
never
true.
was really
No.
like.
That actually is not true.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was the situation?
So we were in PE class, and we were playing basketball, and this individual, I didn't know this at the time. They tended to get angry a little bit quicker than most people, and I went to save I was going out of bounds. I went to save the ball, threw it back, hit the kid in the face. I was like, "Yo, man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." He was heated immediately. I was like, "Dude, I apologize like maybe 4 or 5 times." And as I was leaving, my teacher was like, "You need to leave like now. Like go like leave now." So I'm walking down the hallway, and this kid, he starts running. He got, I guess the 2 PE teachers were trying to like contain, like get him to calm down. He got away from them and chased me down the hallway. Dead serious. Yeah, dude. It wasn't even over anything where,
Kid was just mad.
I didn't mean to do anything. I tried to save the ball, him in the face, and that sent him off. So unfortunately, that was the case. That's the closest I've ever been, I suppose.
That is
nothing ever set up though, by any stretch, of course. There were setups though in school. I'm sure you guys had that as well. Hey, meet at this place. There's going to be a fight.
Yes.
Middle school, there was a
period.
big open patch of grass across the field. That's where everyone.
We had a place called the Commons that had stairs that go down to a platform on the bottom.
Just
it
off
was almost
school-
like a ring.
Yeah.
We just had it there.
It was just off school property, and it was literally a giant field. That's the single biggest fight I ever saw in middle school was in. It was like 20, 30 kids involved in it. They had all scheduled it out ahead of time.
Did you ever witness any fights?
A billion.
Gold.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, tons.
Or was it normally
not as many? It sounds like Cody was acting like
it
he's
sounds
seeing one
like
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw some fights.
Yeah. Did I ever see a fight? Yes. But was
You
it
just
a
keep on
regular
walking.
occurrence? No.
Yeah, smile and wave, boys, and just keep on going about your business during passing period. I got to get to class. I don't have time for this.
All right, up next, guys, let's get to the Chiefs' red half hour. What a former defensive lineman had to say about Patrick Mahomes. Also, the expectation we just mentioned for Mahomes, but what about for the Chiefs in 2026?
You're listening to Cody and Gold.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Centric is ready to help you get that career pathway, a structured approach that includes career coaching, resume and interview prep, and of course the training you need in as little as 4 months, Gold.
Their entire curriculum, though, is built around the job. So you're learning the tools, system skills that real companies actually use, not just general education or theory. And when training is complete, they have a career services team that is amazing over at Centric. They're going to help connect graduates to IT employers, those job opportunities right here in Kansas City. In fact, they have a network of more than 1,700 employer partners.
I think as Gold's pointing out, it's like that class you took in college, you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to need to learn the Scarlet Letter or do a book report on it. No, career learning, actually learning the skills you want. You want to find out more? Talk to our guy, Russ. Find out how Centric can get you in that new IT career. That's Centric.com.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The world is coming to Kansas City. Is your parking lot ready? Over at Gann Asphalt and Concrete, they want to make sure that your business is inviting, that it's safe, and that, of course, your project is cost-effective, because they want to make sure that you're ready and that your business is ready before the world comes here. That's all possible over at Gann, who can handle any type of project your parking lot would need. That's because they're one contractor, all things parking lot. Check out their projects at GannAsphalt.com or give them a call at 816-688-3512.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch, KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoff long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check stats, trends, and matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. It's everything you need all in one app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local and bet your same-game parlays. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you've been putting off some much-needed painting, don't wait any longer. Call CertaPro Painters now. They'll provide a free estimate quickly and at the right price, and you never have to wonder what's next. They provide reliable communication and updates because they know how important your home is to you. Take advantage of CertaPro's spring sales event for 10% off qualifying projects before May 15th. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated, so schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the range.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is a Chiefs Red Half Hour. Reminder, though, 1 hour from now, we'll check in with Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, our weekly visit with Vern. Talk about these Royals that have won 5 in a row, that now have a chance to be in first place. Later on this evening, 2 under 500. Vern's on deck show, of course, 1 hour before the game tonight, so Vern will call in here at 12:30. You guys can always chime in on the text line, 913-586-7965, and also over on Twitch. Cody's got an eye on the chat over there, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Let's talk some Chiefs football in the Chiefs Red Half Hour. And what Gerald McCoy had to say the other day about Patrick Mahomes was kind of interesting, just talking about the footwork, the type of play that he had, and whether or not we can expect to see what he was doing at age 25 again when he's in his 30s.
And you know why this is good for Patrick Mahomes is because as he gets older, the Patrick Mahomes that we've grown to love is off schedule. You know, he makes plays with his feet. Once he gets outside the pocket, he can see the field better than anybody. Well, as he gets older, that's going to change a little bit. So now he can use this to sit in that pocket and show y'all, I'm doing that because I can, but I'm still Patrick Mahomes if I stand right here. And with this, now he can get the visual, see the defense, stand there and just deliver, and with Andy Reid and the evolution of this offense, they're going to evolve. They're going to start evolving. But as long as those two are together, they're going to be all right. So I honestly believe we're going to see less of Patrick Mahomes running around. He does it because he can, but I really believe they're going especially with the enemy coming back, they're going to draw some stuff up where he going to sit in their pocket, and the fans are going to be like, man, and he's just going to be picking people apart.
You think, is he right? Should we expect more a pocket passer?
The old
Patrick
Mahomes?
Now, I still think the question will always be, come playoff time, does he? This does not mean that he will never take off and have a play down the sideline again. That's not what Gerald McCoy is saying. He's just saying majority of the time, is he going to be more of a pocket passer? And I would wonder, come playoff time, do we see him more? I think early on in the season, absolutely. Until he gets even more comfortable, they want to protect him, whether that's via run game, whether it's offensive line, with play calling. I think you're going to notice a difference early on in the season in that. The question is it the same in December as what we're going to see in September from that? Because I do think they're going to really try to protect him early on in the year, protect him from himself, too.
But the kind of athlete that he is not at an age in which the running slows down yet, Like for the guys that are pure pocket passers, the guys that like Tom Brady's of the world, who essentially lived in that world forever, it's slightly different. Now, he doesn't need to. Last year, he only played in 14 games. He set a career high in rushing yards. It is the reason he got hurt. That's the statement I will make. The fact that he had to run around as much as he did last year is the reason he got hurt. It is their fault for either not getting him enough offensive line help, injuries happening on the offensive line, unexplained absences happening on the offensive line, or just general lack of weapons, forcing him into action. In just 14 games last year, he set a career high in rushing yards. So no, that's not going to continue, but he's going right back to 300 yards a season. It'll be 250 this year because of what you mentioned, the first 6 games, when they take it slightly easier. He will not be able to help himself. the second the pocket breaks and he can make a play on the run, he'll make it. He'll go right back into the old habits. And because he's 30 and an elite level athlete and is healing faster and is ahead of schedule, he'll be up and running fine. Like, I don't anticipate him being a different style quarterback right away. I don't anticipate that move till 34, 5, you know? Like, when the legs really just aren't the weapon they used to be, and you've seen even more, and you have to kind of develop into that. And I think later in his career, that will certainly be a part, because we asked that about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and some of the guys who run more, but I still think we're a few years away from them doing that. He's a 350-yard runner. That's a good runner. That's a lot of rushing yards, but let's not pretend like he's Josh Allen all of a sudden. He's running for like 850. Like, asking him to get 300 goals, not that crazy. He had 300 2 years ago, 389 3 years ago, 358, and then he had 422 last year.
Do we look at I know the first couple of games will be obviously like, how does he look? Do they run more? But do we like to not that I agree with Gerald necessarily, but do we see a style change maybe just based on either his comfort level in the knee? Like, obviously we don't know. I mean, he might be fully back to who he is, but even after the knee, do we see a change in the way that he goes about when he runs or evading the pocket? Or like, do you think we see anything from the way that he
That's
approaches,
what we're discussing. Yeah.
the way that he approaches it?
Yeah, that's what we've been discussing. I think there's a real chance that the footwork part of it also is maybe going to be corrected a little bit. You know, how much have we talked about, you know, whether it's happy feet in the pocket and some of that? You wonder if this will cause some of that to get corrected, and it's the right time to get it corrected as well. And we see a little bit of that. I agree with you, Cody, though, where it's, look, if there's a big play to be made, I don't expect down the road that we're just not going to ever see that. Now, I think early in week one, I don't know, like if that opportunity is there, he might be way more hesitant. It might be like
250, 275 this year instead of 300, 350, which is what it has been. But I don't think it's going to be a major drop-off. And by October, I think it'll be the same.
Do you think
I really do.
I don't even know if this was mentioned during the draft process, but when everybody was talking about tackle, it didn't seem like anybody mentioned the need to protect. But do you think that people were mocking the Chiefs to take an offensive tackle just because of Pat and the injury, and making sure that there wasn't anything that would cause him to need to run out of the pocket, to feel like he needs to get happy feet or to scramble?
That and I think
that was never mentioned when people were talking about. They just said the offensive line was bad, which wasn't true.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just watched the last couple weeks and when they were down to their third and fourth string, third string offensive lineman, and they just assumed that was the offensive line. So I think people weren't paying attention. But yeah, I think it's, Brett Veach said it pre-draft. A lot of it's the run game, but they got to protect Patrick Mahomes, and so I think all of it comes together. It's a combination of everything. I think yes, they needed to be more explosive in the run game just to be a better offense, but I also think having a legitimate run game should help protect Patrick Mahomes and make sure that the longevity is going to be there in his career as well.
I do want to point out, though, and this is like, it wasn't just the final four games, and this is why I think people thought the offensive line was worse than it was. It was after the first month of the season, it was never really together. Like, at any one point, somebody was missing or somebody was hurt.
Yes.
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah.
Creed Humphrey started and played 17 games. How many games do you think the next offensive lineman started?
12.
Yeah.
Probably Trey.
Because
Trey was hurt too. Okay, yeah.
So, in the middle of the season, he had a little bit of a flare-up. And then later in the year, when everybody was hurt.
And Simmons was gone and all that other stuff.
All those guys were gone. That's it. And then the rest are, like, way down that list. Because that's always the thing that, like, comes into play here, where eventually we're like, what the hell happened here? Like, where did everybody, like, where did this thing fall apart? Or where did the game started to go away? You're like, well, only two of the offensive linemen were available for 12 and 17 games, and then everyone else was like kind of barely there. And so, like, it's worth mentioning, like, how many games did Simmons end up starting? 8?
The reason I bring it up, though, is just because I think that part of the narrative, I wonder, on how we view Patrick Mahomes in the knee is actually based on the protection that he's getting, and not even necessarily like, because Gerald's talking about the style of play that Pat has. Like, I don't think that's going to change. I don't know why that would change right now, other than there's some, like, if Jalen Moore doesn't work out, it might be more evident than ever. Okay, they need to do something to help protect him, just because of it's forcing it's forcing Patrick Mahomes into those situations where he has to scramble more in weeks 1, 2, and 3 when he's trying to just get back to playing, and it's causing problems or it gives him discomfort or something along those lines where he's not able to just ease his way kind of back into things more than it is, I'm just trying to run for my life out here or trying to figure out how I need to avoid this pressure that's coming my way.
It's crazy. Kingsley started a lot too, so I missed him. But still, like that 3 of the offensive linemen missed a ton. And so, because if you miss 5 games in an NFL season, you missed a third of the year. That's not nothing. But I guess part of it is like, Gold, we all agree he's got to run less. Like, and I guess here's the question. Do you think he had to run more because the offensive line was bad or because nobody was open? And I happen to think it's because
the latter.
I think it's because nobody was open.
And they had no run game.
I think he ran more because they had, a complete...
Nobody was winning.
A complete useless running game, and nobody got open. That's why I think he ran.
Yeah, one-on-one situations, nobody was winning down the field. I mean, I think it's pretty evident. That goes back to, yes, the players have to perform, but it goes back to the coaching element of it. We talked so much about the wide receiver coach and the lack of coaching. Also the scheme. Well, yes, Andy Reid is always going to call the plays, but kind of just needed a fresh reset with the offense. And it looks like that's what they're going to at least attempt to do. We'll find out if it works. But Patrick Mahomes, I mean, this will be one of 30 more times we talk about how the injury might change his performance heading into week 1, I'm sure.
I think this is why I'd asked you earlier, like, it's because I think it'd be an easy excuse here in a lot of ways. As in, you know what, just get to the playoffs and try hard. The way, I don't know, 80% of the league is treated, 90% of the league is treated. Oh, good try. Not participation trophy, but it starts feeling that way. Just get to the playoffs, make a little show of it, and the year's okay. I think it's going to be easy for Chiefs fans to fall into the trap for that, specifically for this year, because of all the things you're talking about. Oh, maybe he can't run the same earlier. Maybe, they're going to have to, they didn't change the weapons, or they still have roster holes that they had last year. And the other teams in the AFC, I think, Gold, you mentioned, are just as good as they are. And some of the things that get brought up a lot, and not unfairly, get brought up a lot as a part of like the concerns with it. I just don't, like I told you earlier, I still think it's like get to the AFC Championship game or this is a failure of a season. And honestly, that might just be my general line in the sand for the Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes is healthy. That might just be my general line in the sand for every team forever. Some will be higher than that, as in Super Bowl or bust. Yeah. This year, I've taken it a half step back. I should just get to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, people get mad when I say where they're at in the AFC. I think they are in the wash with a bunch of teams for the first time in a while. Now, can they emerge from that? And they get in the playoffs, and it's Patrick Mahomes, and everything's great, and they go and can win some games, and they still would have the best quarterback? Absolutely. I'm just saying they are not one of the top 3 teams in the AFC heading into the season. That's not where they have been. And so when they're in the wash with everybody else, for those that will say, well, who scares you? It's not about that everybody else is so much better than them. Is that they're just not much different. So therefore, it is a wide open type of year. I'm not expecting them to go to the Super Bowl this year. Now, as far as what needs to happen, I mean, my expectation is they're a playoff team. Absolutely. Anything short of that is ridiculous. Absolutely a playoff team. But I also think there's a real scenario where they're just a wild card team. And then we'll kind of see what happens. But the multiple years of having, the second or third best odds to win the Super Bowl and clearly in line to be a number 1 or number 2 seed, to me, that's not in play this year. And call me a hater, I guess, for that. But I just think I'm being a little realistic with where the roster is at. But I'll admit, I mean, if we're sitting here in January and the Chiefs are on the road wild card weekend and playing good football, I'll talk myself into them winning a couple games in the postseason.
I guess part of this, we talk about this in seasons all the time. It's a lot of ground to make up. They got to make up 8 games on the Patriots, 6 games on the Bills, 7 games on the Jags, 8 on the Broncos. You got to be 8 games better than you were than them last year.
But
now,
I think in this division,
a few of those are tossaways. It's more like 4 or 5 games because they had to win some more games with Mahomes and they won with Chris Oladokun.
Sure, and look, I do think they corrected some issues. I still think the full roster correction is not happening all in one offseason, though, as I've said. But the division, the Broncos are not winning 14 games again. So I don't think this is, the Chiefs have to get back to winning 13 and 14 games to win the division. I think if you told me the Chiefs got to 12, they got a chance to win the division. 10's not going to win this division. I don't believe that.
Even 11 or 12. We said last year.
Even if we think the Broncos are taking a step back, but this is a division that is going to be very close again. The question will be: are the Raiders good enough to surprise, and beat you or the Broncos? I'm not suggesting to win
like
the
in
division.
a single game, yeah.
Yeah, to where they beat the Broncos once and you once, and so suddenly the division winner's an 11-win team, and all of a sudden you're in play. I think for the Chiefs to win the division, it has to be a 10 or 11 win to win the division. I don't
minimum.
I don't think the Chiefs can get to 13 wins this year. I just don't believe they're going to be a good enough team for that.
Because I think some of the conversation too, it's weird. They have a third place schedule, but it's actually tougher. It's a tougher third place. Like it's not one of the easier schedules in the
I think
NFL.
what stands out, it's one of the harder schedules in the NFL, but it's still easier than the Chargers schedule and the Broncos schedule. Like,
yeah,
because of the
division-wise,
division,
it helps.
they have to face the NFC West and the AFC East. Tough draw. That is the best division in football and a pretty good division in football. And so it's not like they didn't get off easy, I guess, in that regard. But for 2 years in a row since Harbaugh's been there, the Chargers have won 11 games. So I got to think that that's at bare minimum the number. And the Broncos won 14 last year. So 11 to 12 probably wins the division. And I don't think it's unfair for you on May 6th to say the Chiefs aren't getting to that number. It's just more about like, what as a fan you can accept knowing what you've had. And that's always the challenge. I do think there'll be more fans this year that'll be okay with it, though. Like if they just go to the divisional round, let's say they win their wild card game, they lose to the Ravens in the divisional round.
And what's happening? And what's happening within that, right? I mean, if I tell you that they go to the playoffs and they lose in the divisional round, but Xavier Worthy had a breakout year, R. Mason Thomas showed some things.
You're going to feel like they're close.
Versus it was just Travis Kelce still doing his thing, and knowing that he's probably done. As far as retiring, and then Jalen Moore was not good, and so you don't have
the way in which you get to 10 or
there's a big difference. There's a big difference within how it looks. I think for the fans to be excited about 27 after a season like that. But
do you think
they're
10?
16-1 to win the Super Bowl? If you think I'm crazy, go ahead and bet it. They're 16-1 to win the Super Bowl. Go for it.
Do you think 10 gets you into the playoffs?
Yes.
Because last year 11-6 got you in, and that was like the Chargers were 11-6, and they were 7. They were the 7th seed.
Yep.
10 probably gets you in.
I would think so too, just because I think
usually
there's
does.
The Texans were 12-5. They still found a way to do that. Is that going to? Are the Jaguars going to take a drop? Or the Broncos going to take a drop?
The Chiefs win total, there's a reason why it's set at, it's over under 10.5. Of course it is, right?
It's either they make or they don't make, essentially, based on last season, I guess.
It's right there.
Aren't there a lot of teams at 10.5 too?
Always.
Pretty much the entire AFC.
Yeah. Like the Ravens, I think the Ravens are 11 or 12. I think the Bengals are 10.5 or they're 9.
Yeah.
Bills.
That's the normal number. The highest are the Rams are 11.5, Ravens 11.5, Seattle 10.5, Buffalo 10.5, Chiefs 10.5, Eagles 10.5, Packers 10.5. I mean, yes, I would 80% of the league is
10.5 or 9.5.
Yeah.
And then there's like a quarter of the league that they think will stink, 8.5 and under. And then there's the one or two teams that are above that.
Cincy and Denver are 9.5.
The highest team is 11.5?
Yeah. That's always the highest.
I thought
no, the Chiefs have been 12.5 some years in the past.
Once,
that's interesting though.
But it's not like 12.5 is you got to be a team that they're like convinced. They don't usually go outside of that because they know teams will go above that.
It is crazy.
They know there'll be a couple teams who win above that, but predicting above that
there
is
were in the NFC, because you mentioned the Rams were one of them. In the NFC, there were 3 teams last year that finished over 12 or with 12 wins or more. All of them in the AFC West or the NFC West.
Yeah, that sounds right. The Super Bowl winner and the NFC
which is why the Chiefs' schedule is so difficult, because they play all of those teams, and then they play the Bengals, they play the Bills, obviously, because they have the whole AFC East. Like, yeah, some of these teams are.
But I guess that's the point. It's like the parts of the schedule that are tough for them are tough for everybody.
But okay, so
Cody,
but does it? Okay, so I don't think it would change this for you. But if they have to go on the road, if they don't win the division, does that change your expectation? If
they've won on the road in the playoffs,
I know, but just because of the schedule, let's say they're the 6th seed, they get in at 11-6, and they're the 6th seed, and they got to play, I don't know, Baltimore, who went 11-6. If they lose that game, like, are you?
I might soften then, but as of
it probably
now,
just depends
I'm not.
on the matchup. But you would still expect AFC title just because they've done it before.
As of now, I'm not willing to do it. Here's the Broncos schedule for those who are curious. By the way, it's like, well, how hard is their schedule? They have the Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, as we know, Texans, Colts, Saints, Bucks at home. So like there's maybe one easy home game in there, maybe 2 Colts, Saints, depending. On the road, they take on the Falcons and Panthers. That feels a little too easy. Jags, tough. Chargers, Titans, AFC North, and NFC West teams. So like who finished first in those 2 divisions? The AFC North ended up being the Ravens again?
No, it was the Steelers who won it last year.
See, that's the part of the schedule that sucks. is that if you're the second place team, and like if you're the Chargers, you got to take on the Ravens, and you get the Steelers, who don't even have a quarterback as of today, and you'd almost, but it is on the road. Playing the Steelers on the road is a tough environment. Not saying the Ravens isn't, but then they got to play the Seahawks, the defending Super Bowl champions, on the road too. So the Broncos' schedule's not easy either. That's all.
You're right, though. The Broncos do get the Rams, Seahawks, and Bills at home, though, as you said.
Yeah,
the Chiefs' home schedule's crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, the AFC West is playing the same opponents, but the Broncos are fortunate, though, that they have the Bills at home, the Rams at home, and Seattle at home. The Chiefs have to go out to L.A. and play the Rams.
Yeah, they have to go to Buffalo.
Yeah, so that's the difference. And while it's the first place schedule, yes, but their road games, like the Broncos' road games, Arizona, New England, Jets, San Francisco, Carolina, Pittsburgh. I mean, it's not.
It's the toughest are San Francisco and New England.
The Chiefs' road schedule is, of course, the division, but
Seattle,
Buffalo, Rams, Seattle,
they play Seattle too.
Cincy.
Man.
Like it's a
Chargers, Rams.
Yeah,
like it is brutal. It is an absolutely devastating. But also, shouldn't they go 8-0 at home based on that? Their home schedule is the divisional opponents. I guess the Patriots at home. That's nice. Jets, Cardinals at home.
At minimum 6-2. I would say at minimum they should go 6-2 probably.
Look, they've got one of the 5 hardest schedules probably in the league. I'm just saying that the Chargers
There's always
and
surprises,
the Broncos
though.
have
We
one of
know
the hardest
this.
ones too.
Always surprises. Last year, nobody would have thought Seattle and New England were going to finish with 14 wins or whatever it was.
Yeah, that didn't look like a hard schedule last year.
So there's always a surprise. Some injury happens, and all of a sudden the week 11 game against the Patriots looks way easier or something.
The Steelers are starting Will Howard, and somehow he's like the truth or whatever. And it's like,
whatever it may be. Yeah, the Chiefs don't have the Steelers this year, though, but unfortunately.
The only AFC North team they have is the Bengals, right?
Correct. Yep, that's the third place schedule part.
Yep.
Third place schedule.
All right, up next, guys, let's get to what's trending. We'll get back into the Royals, who have won 5 in a row, and we got an update on where college football is trending.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where fine jewelry is always crafted with care no matter the price. Mother's Day, birthdays and graduations, weddings and anniversaries, the new job you got, and even the one you didn't. Give a birthstone necklace, a heart-shaped locket made in Italy, or high-quality diamond studs you can trade up every year. At Shane Company, we have something for everyone, because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, KC, Alex Gold here from The Fan, inviting you to join us for the Victory Run 5K by Planet Fitness, happening Saturday, May 9th at Sporting KC Park Plaza, with a unique course around the Kansas Speedway. Whether you run or walk, bring your friends, bring the family, and don't miss the Kids Dash, all while supporting the Victory Project, helping kids battling cancer experience unforgettable soccer moments. Sign up now and use promo code RUNKC for 50% off. But don't wait, race day is almost here. That's promo code RUNKC for half off. We'll see you Saturday morning at the Victory Run.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This Mother's Day, treat all of the moms in your life like a queen. No, wait, an empress. With a little help from IV. Surprise her with a stunning floral arrangement, or choose from dozens of gift cards for some retail therapy. Then bring the whole family to brunch at the Hy-Vee Market Grill. Just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for children 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. Just one stop for endless options to crown her queen for the day. Only at Hy-Vee.
Moms are the most important people in our life, and she deserves to be honored on Mother's Day. This year, treat your mom to an amazing brunch at Hy-Vee with fresh eggs, crispy bacon and sausage, biscuits and gravy, fresh fruit, sweet treats, and so much more. You can bring the whole family for just $19.99 for adults, $6.99 for kids 6 to 12, and kids 5 and under eat free. It's Mother's Day brunch at Hy-Vee. They have everything to honor Mom. So make this Mother's Day the most memorable ever, only at Hy-Vee.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Look out for Max Minute on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
#1 on What's Trending, the Royals have won 5 in a row. Now just 2 games under 500. They got a chance to be in first place in the American League Central if things break their way tonight. They got to get a win tonight for that to happen. Cole Reagan's on the bump. Royals, of course, taking the first 2 of this 4-game series against the Guardians. Vern's on deck show at 5:30 with the first pitch at 6:40. He's going to join us in about 25, 30 minutes, and we'll check in with him on how he is viewing these Royals, including what really has changed with this bullpen as well. Because last night, you know, it was everybody. I feel like this continued trend, everybody is contributing. We're going to talk about it. Seemingly every night it's somebody different. And last night, Isaac Collins comes up big. Had 3 for 3 night or 3 for 4 night.
We'll talk more about it, like you said, in a couple minutes, and with Vern, of course, at 12:30. Next up on What's Trending, NBA playoff update. Thunder beat the Lakers in Game 1. I guess 15.5 wasn't enough points. 108-90. The Thunder winners. Pistons winners 111-101. There's 2 Game 2s tonight. Spurs and Timberwolves and Knicks and 76ers, although 5 minutes ago, no Joel Embiid for the 76ers tonight, who got absolutely hammered in Game 1. That doesn't bode well. This feels like a Knicks up 2-0 pretty quick in this series.
Yeah, by the time the series gets back to Philly, you know, then Philly was so worried about Knicks fans buying tickets, they might be selling tickets to Knicks fans. Their fans might already be bailing on the.
It really is unfortunate because when he plays, you just watch him play, and he's so good, and then he just can't do it.
It's been his entire career. It's his career in Kansas and in the NBA.
Yeah, no question. You mentioned the NBA postseason. Of course, the Stanley Cup playoffs continued last night. The Colorado Avalanche have a 2-game lead now on the Minnesota Wild after a 5-2 victory. Tonight, we've got 2 games. In the East, the second round action, it is Game 1, a brand new series, Buffalo Sabres, Montreal Canadiens, and then the late game tonight, Game 2 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks. Vegas already up 1-0 in the Western Conference second round matchup there.
Next up on what's trending big news in baseball today, another serious injury. Carlos Correa has suffered a significant ankle injury. They're calling it a torn tendon in his ankle. He's going to have surgery. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. That, according to the Houston Astros. He obviously suffered that injury swinging the batting cage, as they said on Tuesday. Tore his tendon. Now he's out for the year. The Astros were already 15-22 and behind the 8 ball a little bit in the American League, and now lose the middle of the order bat. So tough hit for the Astros and for Correa.
Lastly, on what's trending news this morning, that Ted Turner passed away at the age of 87. From the sports side of things, you guys might remember him as the founder of TBS, right? And
the Braves
brought the Braves and the Atlanta Hawks and got the long-term TV rights. He also was the founder of CNN, pioneer of cable news, passing away at the age of 87.
I will say it's sometimes like he is a name, and that's what's trending here on Cody Gold. He's a name that like synonymous with youth, and I remember him and everything. And obviously there was all the Turner channels, and he was in the news a lot because he owned the Braves, and the Braves were on TBS and all this stuff you'd see all the time. And then there's all this stuff that like I just didn't even realize he did. Like he was the founder of Cartoon Network, and like it was like I was reading a whole article, and it was just like he was the original person who approved shows like Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. I'm like, what kind of world was Ted Turner living in? Whole different thing going on. I didn't even realize was a thing for part of this. Founder of just about everything you could imagine, like you mentioned.
Do you know where he was born, Drew Nixon? Do you know where he was born?
I mean, if you're saying it like that, I guess Indianapolis.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Do you know where Ted Turner was born? Is what he asked.
Ted Turner? No.
I'm asking you for a particular reason.
What was it? Was it Indianapolis?
It is not.
Cincinnati?
It is Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Cincinnati.
Not my hometown.
No, but
yeah.
I mean,
How about that?
He's the founder of TNT, TBS, CNN. He owned multiple teams.
Is that why it's called TNT?
Dude, he's the co-creator of Captain
Turner Sports. Ted Turner.
This was the other thing I saw.
Yeah.
He was the co-creator of Captain Planet.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, you're too young. Drew Gold, you know Captain Planet, don't you? What?
No.
Captain Planet? It sounds like a...
Cody,
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Can you put the theme song for me, Drew? You guys don't know Captain Planet?
Got you.
The 4 elements?
Cody.
And when their powers combine, they can summon
Cody.
Captain Planet to save the Earth?
You're old, man. Do you realize that show was in...
I got no glasses. I got poison ivy. Nobody knows Captain Planet.
Well, other people know. Our audience, I'm sure plenty of people listening know, but you're asking Drew, who's younger than me, and I don't know, and I was born in 91. It came out in 1990 and ran till 96. I was 5 years old when it stopped.
This looks like Magic School Bus type of animation, actually. Hang on. All right, I've got it.
Captain Planet?
I thought...
Wind, water, heart, go!
This is very funny and odd.
Four powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Captain Planet.
I mean, I miss songs like this.
Oh, say, cartoons had it better.
But
then.
no, I never watched this. I was too young.
So they all have 4 rings of like the elements, right? Earth, wind,
apparently,
water,
yes.
fire. And if they always try to solve the problems themselves, and they don't, so they got to combine their rings, essentially like a transformer, to summon Captain Planet to solve the issue.
So it's like the Infinity Stones before the Infinity Stones.
That's what it sounds like.
Kind of. Not exactly, but
yeah, I'm not familiar with the show.
Captain Planet,
wasn't
he's
old
our
enough.
hero. I know, but somebody said they're 35 and they watched it. This just feels like it would have been like I don't know, like a cartoon that lasted a little bit after.
I was too busy watching Blue's Clues and Cliff of the Big Red Dog.
Yeah, my
that's what
first
I was watching,
cartoons
too.
because my age were it was that, it was Rugrats,
Dora the Explorer. Yeah.
Rugrats was my age.
I didn't really
too.
watch Dora the Explorer.
Dora.
Either way.
I'm going to come back with some. That's what the bumper music's going to be for Vern. I'm sorry. I'll apologize in advance. It's going to be one of those like.
Vern knows. I'm sure Vern's familiar with it.
Vern knows Captain Planet.
Yeah. Oh, I have no doubt.
Hey, first question. We're gonna have no doubt about it.
Someone said it's Power Rangers for babies.
Okay.
It's not for babies. I don't think it's like for like little kids, maybe. But I mean, they are like, it is kind of like they're a team, and they eventually have to like constantly summon this guy to like solve the problem.
Wind, air, fire, water, earth.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that felt like it was one of those like early ones that they like it had like an educational element because they're always trying to like save the earth in peril from, Gaia, the spirit of Earth or whatever. It just feels like something they like made kids watch. I don't know.
Now people are texting in all kinds of cartoons. Yeah, Rocket Power, I definitely like.
See, I'm too old for
I
that.
liked Rocket Power. That was great.
I don't recognize Rocket Power.
Rocket Power was phenomenal. The Wild Thornberries or whatever.
You know
another one?
someone's age by the shows they watch the most. Mine were like
Barney
Doug
was another one
and
that I
Rocco's
liked
Modern
watching.
Oh,
Life.
Hey Arnold and Doug, I
Hey
watched.
Arnold,
yeah.
yep.
But Doug, you're just catching reruns too. It probably ended the same time as Captain Planet.
Doug lasted longer.
You guys remember Arthur?
Of course.
Unless it was
Arthur
that-
was goated. You get home from school and it's
Doug's first you're right, Cody. It was the exact same time frame. So I was watching
Told you.
reruns of Doug, I guess.
Yeah. And the reboot, nobody watched that, so it wasn't that you were watching.
Yeah, Doug was 91 and 96, exact same
on. Don
time frame.
Cheadle was one of the voices? Somebody said look up Captain Planet with Don Cheadle. Was Don Cheadle
No,
one of the
I think it was
voices?
like an SNL skit.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I don't watch SNL, so
I'm pretty sure it's like
know that.
I don't know if it's SNL or if it was like Funny or Die. He did a skit as Captain Planet, essentially just like bitching at the kids for
Someone
constantly
says
calling him for
DuckTales,
help.
Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales was another.
I don't know
one.
what Dragon Tales is.
Darkwing Duck. Anyway, we could do that. We can get back into
Literally,
this.
Kid
later.
shows all day.
We could do this for the entire noon hour.
Let's talk some Royals.
Let's talk about them because they've won 5 in a row. Obviously, they're playing some great baseball right now. As we said during What's Trending, they could actually lead the AL Central by the end of the night. They're, more importantly, I think, 2 games now under 500. They are inching closer and closer to getting back there, and they're doing it way quicker than I think most of us thought they could actually do that. And yesterday was another example, though, Cody, where somebody different just stepped up. You go through this entire winning streak. The night before was Nick Lofton in a clutch spot, and of course Jack Caglione on bobblehead night hitting a home run. Yesterday it's Isaac Collins going 3 for 3, a triple shy of the cycle.
And Michael Massey getting the lead.
It's Michael Massey hitting a home run. It's Stephen Kolek in a spot start, giving you 6 innings in his first start of 2026 because Noah Cameron's dealing with a back issue right now. They have found different pieces each and every night, and teams that go on runs like this usually have to have other guys besides just even the core 3 or so step up, and that's what they've got, and it's why they are suddenly just right back into this thing is way quicker than anybody thought.
I think the most underrated part of the 5-game winning streak and the winners of 9 of 11 is the bullpen's not messing it up because these games are not blowouts. Okay, like they are closely contested games that are going down to the closers and the setup men and like the important relievers of your time. 5-3 yesterday, and that one of those was like a bonus run, the Isaac Collins home run. They gave him the 5-3 lead. It was 4-3 for a good chunk of that game, or 2-0 or whatever. It was close for a chunk of it. They won 4-1 against the Mariners, so a 3-run win, 3-2, 1, 7-6, 1 run. Like, I don't have to go through the winning streak. Most of them were pretty tight. Like, and even going back to the other wins, they were all close wins against the Mariners and the Angels, except for the one game against the Angels. They beat them like 12-1 or whatever the hell it was. So, like, you got to pay close attention to where those things are right now, but the bullpen is a huge reason why. But I'm glad they're getting contributions from the end. Those stats we gave in the outfield has performed 10 times better 35 days into this season than it did last year. Already. Like, this might have already outputted home runs and RBI. It might have already output last year's outfield combined. It was so bad. The contributions from guys like Isaac Collins and Massey are easier when the middle of the order guys are hitting. And that's the other part about it, is that Vinny's been hitting. Michael Garcia continues to hit. Bobby Wood Jr. continues to just make everything look far easier than it actually is.
That's ridiculous.
Including the defensive plays. He's 3 runs better than outs above average than any other shortstop in baseball.
And you saw Michael Garcia, the numbers out today. He's 4 above, and he's first in baseball for third baseman.
So, like, you got the best left side of the infield in all of baseball, and now they got Michael Massey, who was a Gold Glove finalist 2 years ago, playing second base at least part of the time, and Nick Lofton plays a decent second. So it's like, you've got the pieces in place, and I think a lot of this winning streak is just reminding me what we were trying to tell ourselves before it really hit rock bottom. Because you and I held firm, Gold. I think 4-game losing streak, 5-game losing streak. We still came on this show, and I would say they've got too much talent to be this bad, and that's why I'm frustrated. I wouldn't be mad at a bad team for being bad. That I'm used to. I've watched a lot of Royals teams 20 years ago that are bad, and they didn't make me mad because they were a bad baseball team, and I knew they were a bad baseball team, and they didn't have the talent. This team has talent. What I couldn't figure out is why were they losing so much in spite of that? 16 days. 16 days ago, they had the worst record in Major League Baseball. They were 9 games below 500, and 16 days later, they were a half game out of first place in the American League Central and only 2 games out of being 500. That's a remarkable turnaround. It should take them a month longer to have erased that deficit. They've done it in 2 weeks.
And for this homestand that we discussed on Monday, how important it is, and for a homestand in May, it's pretty crazy to have the significance that it does have for against Cleveland, to have Detroit coming into town later on this week. And now you get the first two. So, yeah, now we get greedy, Cody. Anything less than 5-2 almost feels disappointing at this point now on the road trip. And it seems very obtainable for them to at least have a 5-2 homestand at this point. And they, to me, got past the game last night where they maybe were most jeopardy of losing, because you had your fifth starter go down and you have a spot start from Kolek. Yeah. Well, now you're back to the top of your rotation. I understand Cole Reagans has been different at home versus on the road.
Well, good news, he's pitching at home tonight.
But but he is at home tonight, and Cole Reagans is still one of the guys that you, of course, count on in this rotation. So that would have been the one to drop last night. And you would have said, okay, I get it. Here's the circumstances. Well, to me, you stole that last night.
And I guess, and that's kind of what I was making the point. I think yesterday I'd said it to you. I said, sometimes in these series, the second game feels more important to me. And it's like, why, right? Why would that make sense, I guess? And for me, it's very simple, which is now the worst case scenario feels like 4-3. I'm not saying it can't go worse than Echo, but like genuinely, mentally, it feels like the worst it could possibly go in this homestand is 4-3, which I would have locked in before the 7 games started. But now 5-2 and 6-1 are in play, all because you got game 2 against a starter you weren't supposed to get. They have I would say, even pitching matchup tonight because Cantillo's been pretty good. So we'll see which version of it they get. And Cole Reagan's been better at home. He's not been perfect. He has certainly been worse. But they have a massive pitching advantage tomorrow. The Guardians starting pitching has stunk this year. He's been straight up bad, and you got the Royals' best starter this season in Seth Lugo going against him. So it's another one where it's like, you win this one tonight, I mean, the 4-game sweep is very much in play. A very real possibility. And if you go from you were trailing a team by 2.5 games to you're a game and a half up on them and in first place and face the team in second place coming up for another home weekend series, you got a chance to even up the odds a little bit because they swept you the last time. We'll talk about that series more on Friday with Bink because the last time they faced the Tigers, they swept them. That was in the middle of their 8-game losing streak and their 6 straight games lost on the road to the Yankees and the Tigers, where they lost by seemingly 1 run every night. But I mean, they're just playing better baseball. They made it interesting to watch immediately after making it uninteresting. I'll give them a lot of credit for that. You and I both thought it would take a hell of a lot longer than
Absolutely.
this.
We're going to talk more about it with Vern here in about 15 minutes. Our Royals Insider coming up here on 96.5 The Fan. Do not forget, this year we have partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. And at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team, you see the best in KC. Schedule today at kcuc.com. Something that I know Drew was texting us a lot about last night on our group text was what is going on in college football right now. And the American Football Coaches Association, their board of trustees, are expected to release its decision to support a 24-team playoff. And that would mean the elimination of league title games, according to Ross Dellinger. Now, the format they're discussing, let me be clear, these are the coaches that are voting out. This does not mean this will be like final approval,
this is not
good to go.
Yeah, that'd be in June they'd have that meeting.
Correct, and it's still probably a couple years away.
By December 1st, they have to decide what they're doing for next season, but
this is a big step, though, towards probably the end game of all this, which would be 24-team at-large bracket determined by the college football playoff rankings, and then you'd have an automatic berth for the group of 6 leagues, and then first-round campus games if you're seed, what would that be, 9 through 24.
Yeah, which, first off, the campus games, yes. A million times over, yes. Playoff games at home, just like in the NFL, is awesome. I think we all saw that those campus games rule. But at the same time, I actually like, if you're trying to at least preserve some version of the college game, Drew, I actually don't hate that you still play games in like the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl, or, you know, like that is still like a part of the history of the sport. So I don't mind as the tournament goes that those games remain offside. It doesn't actually bother me because that's always been a part of college football. Neutral site, big time games has been regularly what they do, not just like how the NFL does the Super Bowl. So I'm not really bothered by that. 24 teams. You guys don't want a 78-team, 76-team college basketball tournament. You want 24 in the college football tournament?
I don't.
Feels like a lot.
I don't think
that feels like a lot of teams.
And that's the consensus from everybody, I think, is even me. I would not do this. However, the model that they're proposing, or that they've discussed most, at least according to Yahoo Sports, is the only one, in my opinion, that can work with 24 teams. So for those who don't pay attention to college football outside of FBS, FCS is also Division I. They do 24 teams, and it's been fine. They play 11 regular season games. They're actually bumping it up to 12 for this upcoming season, but they've always done 24-team playoffs. A little bit different, of course, because it's FCS, not as televised as much until you get to the later part of it. But Division II has done 32 teams in their playoffs. So this is not something that hasn't been done. I think that for them to, at least according to this, an automatic playoff berth for the group of 6 leagues is the only way that it works. And the reason I say that is because this is not going to result in 10 SEC or 10 Big Ten teams getting in. I don't even know if it gets 8 SEC or Big Ten teams in, because if you look at the way that the breakdown would be, there's 10 FBS conferences, then Notre Dame technically. But 10 FBS conferences, let's say Notre Dame gets in there as well. So there's 11 teams taken out. There's 13 at-large bids. One is probably going to go to the Big 12. One's probably going to go to the ACC. So both of those conferences will get 2 teams in for the first time ever. The Big 12,
24, I think the Big 12 would get 2 in anyway.
For the first time ever, the Big 12 would get 2 teams in. Let's just say they each get 2. That leaves a remaining 11 spots. That opens up an extra 5 or 6 SEC or Big Ten teams, where you could see 7 SEC teams in, which is enough anyways. We don't need that.
My God.
But again, the most that they've ever had is 5. But so let's say it's the SEC and they include Texas and Vanderbilt. Nobody's arguing after that, I don't think. Like, those are the 2 teams that were debatably in or not. We're not. You're not going outside of the box to include, no offense, Missouri fans, but you're not including Missouri, or you're not including like anybody like that who is or you're not including somebody like Tennessee who is on the fringe but not really a part of it. Like, I don't think that's going to happen if you include every group of 6 conference. I also think that also for the casual fan, if you know that the last game of the year between Toledo and Ohio is a game to get into the playoff, maybe you're a little bit inclined to actually pay attention to that. I think it helps the casual fan watch more college football other than just the SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 or ACC. I think it can work. I'm not saying I would do it, but I think this model is the one that they would have to use to be successful.
Can I say that, like, we are barreling towards, especially college sports, are barreling towards participation medals? I hate to come off as like the old fuddy-duddy.
We've had that. It's called bowl games. They've had that forever already.
But now it's just worse.
Well, then
but now they want to make it seem like, I know. They're both barreling towards, we give you a medal. Oh, you made the tournament. The last thing I'd want to hear from a Power 4 coach right now is, I made the NCAA tournament 10 years in a row. And
I do.
So did a third of college basketball, or I made the college football playoff. Does that mean anything if you're the 5th team in the SEC every year and there's 24 teams in it? Is that really a flex, or the flex you think it is?
No, but I think because a lot of people, the main concern is that it takes away from the significance of the regular season.
Yep.
But I think if you include every group of 6 conference, it actually it helps keep the regular season relevant.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's say Alabama is 5th in the standings. They have to beat Auburn to get in. They have to win the Iron Bowl. Like, that game, even though it's the last game of the year, it's still, and then there's 24 teams in, it still has significance for seeding and has significance for a bye. I think there's a way that it can work. It's just that it has to be done correctly, and based on the history that we've had of the suits making decisions and people who actually don't love the sport making decisions, who's to say it actually is going to happen? But
there's a lot they have to still figure out.
Correct.
This is just the coaches. Then, as you guys said, in June, there's more meetings that are going to take place. The hurdles right now that they have to figure out, one, other than maybe the SEC not wanting everybody to be part of the party, would be the Army-Navy game is the schedule. They may have to move that up to Thanksgiving, which presents new challenges, and then they want to have the playoff in by the second week of January.
Yeah,
so you got to move everything up. The other hurdle that it mentions in the same Yahoo article with this is the financial end, which is right now the conference championship games do fetch $250 million, and so they have to know that an extra 10 games, will they make more money than that? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense for them to do that. So we'll see. There's some hurdles there, but it definitely feels like at some point we're going to get this. I just don't know if it's happening in the next year or two.
Real quick, do you guys like that they're getting rid of conference title games?
I don't care.
Because
they're pretty meaningless now anyway.
I'll be honest, though. Well, they're meaningless with the the format, yes. But I do think if you're an MU fan, a KU fan, a K-State fan, how often do you talk about, like, you have this goal of winning your conference championship, and now it's like fair. You're a conference champion, but there's not a conference championship game.
It becomes the regular season title, basically, is what it would be, which is what, again, the model to compare this to is FCS. They don't have conference title games. FCS just has a conference winner, and they get in. There's no conference title. That's the model. If you want to look at how successful a 2014 playoff could be, what it would look like, look to the FCS, because they've been doing it for years, and they don't have conference title games. That's the model that they're following. The only difference is there's 12 regular season games compared to 11. Maybe they bump week 0, your favorite thing, guys, becomes week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then you move, instead of it being a month gap between the end of the season and then the first playoff game, they condense that to then finish the season in mid-January, which probably should be happening anyways.
So we'll revisit this, I'm sure, in June when we'll see conference commissioners and presidents of schools have a chance maybe to vote on this. And we could be barreling towards a 24-team college football playoff with a lot of changes coming to the sport. Up next, back into the Royals, who have won 5 in a row, with our Royals insider, Josh Vernier.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Look, spring's here. Maybe you're still feeling exhausted, though. No energy, no sex drive. It's time to head to Low T Center. 1 in 4 men has low testosterone, and over at Low T Center, they'll give you a free testosterone test to see where your T levels are. And then more importantly, if they're low, they can help you with a customized TRT plan to make sure that it's customized for your body. I want to emphasize that because that's important, right? Not just some generic, we'll just throw this at anybody, hope that it works. No, something customized to you to make sure you get the highest quality testosterone with their providers, tailoring it to your body. So help get that spring back in your step and find out how Low T Center can help you by starting with that free testosterone test. And then after that, you get to choose your treatment plan. Do you want to go into the office? Do you prefer telehealth? You can do that with their new app. You can keep track of your health and all of that stuff outside of it. Can all start with a short test as little as 30 minutes in their facility to make sure that things are right. Because if they're feeling wrong, and you know they've been feeling wrong, that is a sign to you. So check them out at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com. And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
DQ presents the $7 meal deal, a delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new honey sriracha dip. The DQ $7 meal deal, a satisfying meal full of big flavor for great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
FanDuel can make watching the NBA playoffs more exciting because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to all the action, from player props on your favorite stars to stats and trends. FanDuel has all the tools you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet on the players you love, the way you want. Visit FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Mother's Day, celebrate her with something truly special. At P.F. Chang's, enjoy a 5-course celebration experience starting at just $89.99. Featuring premium entrees like New York prime strip steak tataki, oolong Chilean sea bass, and lobster and prawn fried rice, plus the bold signature flavors she loves. It's more than a meal. It's a celebration made just for her. Reserve your table now and make Mother's Day unforgettable. Only at P.F. Chang's. Available when you dine in for a limited time only at participating locations. Offer may vary.
At Target, finding something for every kind of mom and every side of mom just got easier. Does she love fashion? Take 20% off select women's clothing and accessories and find a dress she'll love to wear. Is she into the outdoors? Freshen up her favorite spot with up to 40% off planters, pillows, and poofs. Or keep it classic, fresh tulips for just $12 and a dossier fragrance trio for $32. Whatever mom is into, we've got it. Celebrate mom her way, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Brought to you by RPM Revival this weekend at Flying H Drag Strip. More at racerpmrevival.com. RPM Revival at Flying H Drag Strip this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, presented by Monster Energy. The fastest street cars in the country throwing down, including Kids Power Wheels Racing, Burnout Contest, and Car Show. Pre-sale tickets just $20. Kids 12 and under free. More at racerpmrevival.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 12 minutes or so. But let's go right out and welcome in our guy, Josh Fernier, our Royals insider. He, of course, has his on-deck show tonight as the Royals continue their series against the Guardians. Getting greedy a little bit, Vern, on this homestand now. I think everybody's now thinking, okay, got to at least go 5-2. It's amazing how quickly things change.
Yeah, nice, especially when, you don't want to celebrate the fact that Tarek Skubal's injured and has to undergo surgery, but you can celebrate the fact that Framber Valdez continues to be a terrible teammate and likely will be suspended for that fracas yesterday. So, yeah, with the Tigers coming this weekend, you've already earned a split with Cleveland. You can really fatten up and find yourself shockingly atop the division when you head out to Chicago coming up on Monday.
I felt like yesterday was really impressive because if you were going to look at this homestand and say, all right, the team's playing better, but look, they got a spot starter going into a game against the Guardians with Gavin Williams. Like, okay, this is the one where maybe you drop. It feels like they stole that thing yesterday with Kolek pitching as well as he did, and then every night somebody else is stepping up right now, and yesterday it was Michael Massey and Isaac Collins.
Certainly, and that was my mindset going into that game yesterday was, can they come out there and steal one? But that didn't feel like they stole it. It felt like they punched Cleveland in the mouth right out of the gate in a very division title championship type of, the way that the championship team in 2015 did. Right out of the gate in the first inning, we're attacking you. We're taking the extra base. We're showing our extra base power. Our cleanup hitter is doing just that. And then, that also comes on the heels of a 9-pitch first inning from Stephen Kolek. As we know, this rotation is one of the 10 best in the sport and has to remain one of the 10 best in the sport if they are going to win this division. But even when the Guardians punch back, the Royals not sitting around, as you mentioned, with Collins and Massey, they come right back at them. So it was a very on the attack, aggressive, we're the big brother type, this is our home field type of game. And that's what we were hoping to see back on opening day when we were talking. We wanted Kauffman Stadium, as its years are now winding down. We wanted Kauffman Stadium to be a place where bad teams come to get beat and good teams come for a fight. That's what it's been against Cleveland and certainly against the Angels on the most recent series here at home.
Vern, what have you made of Isaac Collins? At first I feel like people were talking back like he was disappointing, and now I'm looking at his slash line. It might as well be the identical slash line he had in Milwaukee. It's a few off of the slugging or OPS. It's almost identical at batting average and on-base percentage. Pretty much traded for the player he was last season. So, to this point, we got to feel like, not putting the Zerpa injury aside, this deal's worked out exactly as the Royals purchased it.
Yeah, and throw in Nick Mears, 6 straight scoreless appearances, 6 straight hitless appearances. He remains perfect this season at home. His numbers against righties are very impressive. Speaking of numbers at home, very impressive. Isaac Collins, not only an 11-game on-base streak, but the guy's batting .365 at Kauffman Stadium here in 2026. Yeah, he's been exactly who offensively, he's been exactly who the team thought they were getting, and I'm sure the base running, the defense will tighten up as he continues to get more and more comfortable. But Lane Thomas has been who the organization had hoped he would be. Nick Mears so far has been the guy, and we'll see if Alex Lang can officially turn a corner and be the guy that they expected them to be. Listen, it's all going really well right now during the 5-game winning streak. My impressions of Isaac Collins, he's doing exactly what we hoped he would do at the dish. And but again, that's all predicated on those big 6, right? The 6-pack of sluggers we've all talked about for months now. Those guys need to carry their weight. Salvi, Cags, Carter, Bobby certainly have of late.
What's the concern meter on Carter Jensen? We did a topic earlier in the show saying, hey, of the Royals who are still either struggling or just not available, Cole Reagans, Carlos Estevez, Noah Cameron, someone mentioned Carter Jensen as being the player they're most worried about. He's in a 3-for-20 stretch, so he's certainly struggled. I guess I don't look at it any more than he's game 45 into a Major League Baseball career, and everything up to this 2-for-30 stretch would suggest he's a good Major League hitter.
And last night, to me, was his best defensive performance of the season as he's guiding Stephen Kolek through his first big league outing of the year. And after they give up that 3-run home run, that battery is able to retire the next 8. And then the bullpen comes out and throws 3 scoreless, hitless innings of relief. 2 well-executed, well-timed challenges from Carter behind the dish. 0 for 4 offensively with 4 punch-outs. The game's adjusting to him. The same thing happened to Jack Caglione at this point in his career last season. So, yeah, offensive struggles from Carter Jensen, from every big leaguer. As we've seen this year with Vinny and Michael and Bobby and Salvi, that's going to happen to everyone. But Carter's just a terrific offensive ball player. And you're going to – this was a guy that gave this organization so much confidence that he's in the opening day lineup against Chris Sale. I'm not worried about Carter Jensen offensively whatsoever. In fact, I'm as encouraged with the 22-year-old as I've been all year coming off that defensive showing last night.
You had mentioned, I guess, let's talk about Kolek for just a minute on its own. Is that a player we just don't discuss enough? He's made 6 starts for the Royals, and in those 6 starts, he's been excellent. They've never asked him to be a full-time starter, and he came into the year hurt. But is this another, I guess, Seth Lugo type where he didn't start a ton, and if he starts for you, he'll be good, or he'd be exposed if he had to start more than he is?
No, this was a guy that had a chance of making the rotation. He could have edged Noah Cameron out if he pitched well enough in spring, but an oblique bit him and cost him a chance to make that opening day roster. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, 6 for 6. He's the first player ever in franchise history to open up his career with 6 straight quality starts. You know, the stuff is there. The mentality is there. The guy has a very calm heart rate out there on the mound. Gave a lot of credit to Carter Jensen after the game for guiding him through those 6 innings of walkless baseball. So, I mean, he's 29, right? Just turned 29, so it's not as if he's a spring chicken to go along with your Seth Lugo, likening him. But, do I envision him as, anything more than a number 4, number 5 starter? No. But hey, I'm glad you have him because you can never have enough starting pitching. You can never have enough relief pitching. Having Kolek and Cameron, it's not an issue. Just like having Estevez and Urseg, it's not an issue. You can never have enough good pitching. You'll find a place for them all.
We're talking to Josh Vernier, our Royals insider here on 96.5 The Fan. Noah Cameron, it sounds like they're not too worried there. Are you getting the sense that this is just going to be a one-off miss for him, or is there more concern?
No, they said one turn through the rotation and he should be fine. That if this was later in the season, he would be able to press through it. But if Kolek's putting up, you know what, that's even the thing. You look at what Kolek was doing in AAA, and okay, the ERA was nice, but opponents were hitting nearly 300 off of him. He hadn't even gone 5 innings, hadn't even reached 75 pitches in any of his rehab starts, and then he shows up last night and just carves them up for 6 frames, going 83 pitches. No, they didn't seem to be all that concerned about Noah Cameron's health. I think the bigger concern right now was the execution in 3 of his last 4 starts, right? A quality start mixed in there. But just when you're a guy like Cameron that doesn't have overpowering stuff, if you're not able to mix up your pitches and use all 4 or 5 pitches in all 4 quadrants, you're going to get hit. And if you're issuing walks as well, you're really going to pay for it. So that coupled with the low back tightness, why don't we give him a breather? Yeah, I would expect him to make his next start, whether that's in Chicago or wherever they go after Chicago.
Vern, I know this show, you've been an advocate in saying that Jack Caglione still has so much talent that writing him off would be foolish. What have you seen that has been different for him this year, I guess, at the plate, as he is clearly now at this point a valuable member of the offense, but no more slap-hitting singles now the power's back?
Yeah, I think you great interview this morning, by the way. Shout out to Fesco and Dusty. Really enjoyed their conversation with Q. And his point about the offense as a whole, I think we could just direct it exactly to Jack Caglione. He's making the pitchers come to him, not chasing anymore. And when you make the pitcher come to you, when you make them throw strikes, it looks like they are more relaxed, more in control at the plate because they're not flailing, reaching as often. Now, the strikeouts are always, hopefully not always, but more than likely always going to be there for a guy like Jack Caglione. But I think offensively that experience, that's obviously number one, both offensively and defensively, just getting more reps at the highest level. Same with Carter Jensen. So that's number one. And then number two, with that experience, you understand that Man, I'm a monster. I'm 6'5", 250. That dude on the hill is frightened by what I could do to him and the meme I could turn him into. So understanding that and forcing him to come to you, I think the power is only going to continue to come for Cags. And defensively, as you guys know, it took MJ Melendez about a year and a half to be a league average corner outfielder. Well, here we are, a year and a half with Jack Caglione, and I would say he's certainly at least a league average right fielder. I mean, the stats would say he's been one of the best because of that arm in Major League Baseball.
Josh Fernier's got his on-deck show tonight as the Royals try to make it 6 in a row, 5:30 right here on 96.5 The Fan. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Get off the phone line.
Got to make sure we got that worked in. Text line said, Gold, get it ready. They're reminding me now to make sure. I missed it last week.
Don't forget.
I know, I won't. I was not happy that I missed it last week.
I wonder which of the superstitions Vern is the biggest believer in. Is it the John Pork, the mustaches, or somebody?
I like the John Pork thing because it has to do with sports cards, right? And we've talked a lot on the show about
he does like a
custom
ton of
cards.
Custom cards. Like so I saw the one where he had Frank White sign the one where his eyes are bulged out.
And he did one for Brett Saberhagen that was Copenhagen with like you seen that one?
Yep.
So no, that I like just because of the sports card connection. But you're right. Over the years, there's always been some rallying cry. There was, of course, the Rally Mantis. Going way back as well. And so, look, if the John Pork card is helping the bullpen, so be it, baby. That's fine. I had a listener on, what was that, Monday night when I was there, he tweeted and said that I guess whoever created it left more of those cards around the stadium and somebody found one up in the 400 level. Or whatever.
He just like slowly filtered them throughout the building. That's fun. Mm-hmm. That's definitely
a John Pork card.
Somebody tried to claim I'm not allowed to wear glasses until they lose. My glasses come here, I'm putting them on.
I think they're correct.
Because they're 5-0 since I lost
Cody,
them.
You realize your glasses are coming in Friday. So on Monday or Saturday or Friday night, you put on the glasses. Let's say the Royals have won at that point 7 in a row, 8 in a row, or something like that heading into Friday. And you wear the glasses and they lose, it's going to be all your fault. Absolutely.
Just as the same as you claiming responsibility when they win after doing one of your songs. It's just the same. If you put the glasses on and they lose, then you have full responsibility.
I don't know.
I will say the fact that you need to not wear your glasses and you said you need to shave.
I do need to shave because I said if the Royals are in first place, I'm not allowed to shave anytime the Royals are in first place.
You better get the last shave in now.
And genuinely felt like I was pretty safe of that for a little bit. So I'm on day 5 or 6 of not shaving. I gotta shave. Pretty much glassesless and without shaving is the Royals' 5-game winning streak. But they were winning before that, so I think I'm fine to wear glasses. Plus, you guys say I can't even be on the road.
That actually, you know what? I'm actually in favor of you wearing glasses.
I still maintain
for everybody else's safety here in the city.
Your lack of vision without the glasses, I might as well. It's not. I could just drive home from surgery tomorrow. It'd be just as dangerous as what you're doing.
That's
just as dangerous.
If I was in tomorrow, I might tell JT.
Drew, would you rather enter a vehicle with me driving tomorrow after surgery? Up on anesthesia.
Coming out of anesthesia, I tried to
or Cody right now mixed with his already. Cruise control set at 25 miles an hour driving anyway, coupled with not being able to see where he's at.
It depends on your level coming out of the anesthesia. I tried to wrestle myself away from a nurse the last time I came out of
That's crazy.
anesthesia.
I better not be doing any of that.
Well, it's not like I was planning on it.
Well, I'm not planning on it either. Yeah.
It just happened that way because you're freaking out.
Huh.
Because you got knocked unconscious and then your brain's not firing. I'm definitely safer on the road.
You sure?
Without glasses.
Well, according to you, you've been doing this where if you wear sunglasses.
My sunglasses, yes. I wear sunglasses all the time when I'm driving. So I'm used to this. I'm used to driving without corrective lenses. I'm fine.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. And, of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where we live stream the show 4 hours every single day. Like and subscribe over on Twitch and YouTube. Pop to the top of your feed. Make sure you get a chance to not miss any part of the show. Question I have today is about teaching. You have a sister who teaches.
I do.
I have several siblings who teach. My kids are both in elementary school. And my wife and I were having the conversation the other day, and again, stuck in a rut. So in the guessing game in this department. So I'm going to ask a question because I'm hoping that we can crowdsource it and figure out the actual answer.
Was this a bedside chat you guys were having?
No, just a normal.
You're asking us again for advice to help you out.
This is to help everybody out.
Okay.
The school year's almost over. We're 3 weeks away. My kids have 13 days left of school. As a result of that, like most people, I get the teacher a small gift of some kind. The question I have is, what is the actual thing they want? What do you think is the actual gift reasonably priced, right? I'm sure what they actually want is a $500 gift card to Amazon. I can't do that. So what is the right gift to purchase for a teacher? Now, we probably don't have a lot of teachers listening to the show right now, but maybe some former ones. Mm-hmm. And like you said, we have some siblings who do it. What do you think we should actually be getting them for the end of the year?
It's a good
Elementary
question.
school teacher.
It's a good question. I haven't asked my sister this. My guess is gift cards. Just gift cards
that's the move, I think,
gift cards to various places. Maybe it is Amazon. Maybe it's Target. I would say gift cards. That would be my answer.
Gift cards?
Yeah.
And you don't think it matters where the gift card is to?
No, I would say for a teacher.
What's the right number?
Probably
$25?
Amazon.
$50?
I think it depends on a lot of factors. $50 if you can swing it.
But what do I do about my kids? Like they do like the gifted program, and they go to those teachers once a week. Is it a reduced same?
Oh, if it's only once a week, maybe it's a little less.
Because it's only once a week.
Maybe it's a little less. But your actual, like, quote unquote, full-time teacher, I think $50 is a good amount to go with. Some people, it depends also, like, as you know, everybody's going to have a different amount. I know there's people that have given way more than that before, and I know there are people that give less.
Somebody says, 816, cash and nothing else. I'm married to a teacher. From the 636, as a teacher myself, I always enjoy gift cards to Starbucks or favorite drink places. Somebody said gift card. Somebody said a Walla water bottle. Nobody needs another water bottle. We all have too many.
Yeah.
We all got to take them out of the cabinet.
Spa after a long year, that might be worth having.
Someone says we got to get a gift for everyone now. Teachers, when I was in elementary school, we were giving gifts to teachers or whatever as well. This is not a new concept. People get Teacher Appreciation Week and all that stuff's been a thing for a very, very long time.
Someone says, give the teacher a signed headshot if you dressed up as for the Creed is Good video. That'd be insane.
A signed headshot?
One year, in fairness, I did give them all Super Bowl confetti. And that was a big hit.
Yeah, I bet.
I gave them a little jar of the Super Bowl confetti from the field, but I don't have that from last year because they stunk. So, didn't work out that way.
True.
From the 816, best gift for teachers? Simple answer: weed. I don't think
multiple people say weed
idea.
or liquor store gift card.
Bottle of wine.
I will say
Weed
there
or
is some
alcohol. Okay.
there is some part of me that feels weird though, sending a like Total Wine gift card with my kid. Like, is it okay for like my 7-year-old to roll into school with the Total Wine gift card? I mean, if it's in a card, I guess. Do they like the little notes from kids, or do they want a note do you think that it's like the Mother's Day, Father's Day? Do they like the little note from the kids like, thanks for being my teacher? Or is that just like
I think they
instant
appreciate
trash?
it, but
just
they
get
don't.
them a gift card.
That's not the permanent gift. I'm just asking, do they like that as a
appreciate
portion?
it, but I don't. Yeah,
Someone said gas card right now.
Someone said.
That's not a bad answer.
Someone said a basket of apples.
Jeez.
I mean, it better be at least Honeycrisp quality or better. Like, we got to get upper end apples.
I
if you're gonna
definitely,
get a whole basket.
I'm with gold. The gift card is the way to go, just because they can use it for whatever they want to. I would say, like, if you knew the teacher, honestly, like if you knew who their teachers would be. I'm saying, if you found out in June who their teachers would be for next year, if you somehow like figured out a way to send them a gift card so they could pay for supplies as well. That would help. It would do them a solid. That might be nice because they obviously
Cody,
pay out of
you're a
pocket.
teacher. What do you?
Yeah.
want?
I
teach college.
professor.
Nobody gives gifts to college professors.
No.
Honestly, I'd be concerned. It would be like a weird thing to receive. Like, hey, I got you a thank you gift. Like, that's not normal. And there's some part of that that just feels weird. You've never once thought about getting a gift for your professor.
Someone from the 913 says a candle company, or they work for a candle company. A kid asks teachers what their favorite scent is, and they give them candles.
There you go.
Their favorite. I mean, I will say this.
I think that
you're making that sound like a very normal thing to ask somebody. I fire off an email to my kids' teachers' days. Like, what's your favorite scent?
No. You don't do it. No.
Sound
you
like a
don't
real
do it.
weirdo.
No, Cody, you don't do it.
Oh, okay.
Your kid does it.
I got to employ the kid to find out.
Yeah, I think they would appreciate a
A lot
candle.
of people saying give them Jay Binkley's personal phone number.
Interesting.
That'd be really strange and odd. Why is Bink texting in?
Why is Bink texting my kids' teachers?
Well, he wouldn't be they'd be having to text him.
Yeah,
they're saying to give him his number.
I will say, in fairness, though to Bink, they might actually already have his phone number potentially out of a parental contact.
I have kids all around this city.
That's true. Bink does.
These might be his kids. He's not getting gifts for.
That's what I'm saying. For all we know, one of his kids could be a student.
I'm thinking gas gift card this year might be the play. Food no good. Cookies, Oh, baked goods?
Food would
Anybody
be
want
on-
that stuff?
Nobody wants your baked
Cookies would
goods.
be on brand for you.
Nobody
It would
wants
be.
your baked goods. They don't know where they came from. They don't know what's in it. Yeah, they don't know where the kitchen is. Nothing. No. Absolutely not. We don't need to do the baked goods.
It would be on brand for you, though.
Well, I think that it's a nice thing to get a baked
No,
good.
I genuinely I know. I think
I
it
wouldn't
is
like
as well.
send a cake. It's just like, some chocolate chip cookies or something. You telling me you're not going to eat those in summer break?
Would they rather have chocolate chip cookies or the Amazon gift card?
They can
though?
have both, I guess is the point.
Oh,
The
okay.
cookie would not be the only gift.
No, you made it sound like you're only going to give them cookies.
No, like here's some cookies and here's a Quick Trip gift card.
Oh, so
you know?
I think that's.
I think that
that's fair.
like with my note, a note from my kid saying. But I guess here's the thing: do you send the note if I think my kids like their teacher this year, but it's not like that happens every year. What's the play if your kid doesn't like the teacher? Then do you just you can't leave high and dry. I think it's like tipping in a restaurant, even if the service is.
You still do it.
Maybe it's less, but I mean, you still got to do something. Somebody says literally anything is nice. To show your appreciation is all that matters.
In all honesty, I think
that's what a teacher said over there.
Because I don't know how common
Anything
it is.
but
I know
cups,
that I know good. You said I don't know how common it is though. Like if let's say the student or this teacher has 25 students, how many of the 25 of their parents are getting them anything? Like I feel like
10.
it's almost like You think so? You think it's that many?
In elementary school, I think it is.
I have no idea.
Because in high school, you run into what am I
elementary
supposed to pay $2
school.
grand
In
a
high
year?
school,
You know?
you're not. Yeah. I think it's an elementary school thing is where that falls into line
For sure.
All right.
And you can also ask the other parents and find out what they're doing too. It depends. It depends on the school, the district. It depends on that particular class for that year. Are they more into doing the gift thing? I think I don't know if there's a set amount every time.
Desmond doesn't have a girlfriend this time around towards the end of the year, like he did last year, where he's got to worry about what they're going to do during the summertime.
No, when I go have lunch with them at school, there's still like a collection of the girls who sit by him, but it's
a collection.
His girlfriend. In air quotes from last year,
he's got some groupies.
Is in a
different.
Is in a different class.
Okay.
Probably at the request of the teachers. I'm gonna guess they were saying maybe don't put those two in the same class together.
The way you said that made it sound like he's sitting in the middle of the lunch table and he's just got eight. The 8 surrounding chairs are just.
That was more like that in kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
But it's he plays it aloof. He's got no interest at the moment. He just wants to. His only interest is basketball. That's it.
He's out here pulling girls, challenging 6'7" guys to one-on-one out of nowhere in the gym. I mean, this guy's on. He's on one.
He made me play horse at 6:45 a.m. today.
Let's go.
That's crazy.
The grind is real. You need to appreciate this now because when Desmond makes $1 million playing hoops somewhere, you will know that it's worth it.
Desmond makes it to the NBA. I'm quitting.
I would think so.
This will have been worth it.
I'm out of here.
Just don't live through him, please. Like a lot of those parents who do that.
Oh.
Would you? So let's say in the very. Oh, we gotta take a break. I'll give you a good hypothetical on the way back.
All right, we'll find out what random hypothetical Cody has for us. Plus, let's talk about the World Cup and some disappointing numbers coming out around it.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
What matters to you matters to us. That's why Busey Bank takes the time to understand your goals and build solutions that fit your story. From everyday banking to long-term planning, our team is here to help you navigate every stage with care and expertise. We're more than a bank. We're your neighbor, your advisor, and your advocate. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PROMO25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PROMO25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
FanDuel can make watching the NBA playoffs more exciting because right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right, turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets for just getting started. The action in the NBA playoffs are heating up. FanDuel is making it even easier to get closer to all the action, from player props on your favorite stars, stats, and trends. FanDuel has all the tools that you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet on the players that you love the way you want. Visit FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game, America's #1 sportsbook app, and FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue, the non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt, which can apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
This active storm season has made an impact on Kansas City roofs. And at Century Roofing, we're busier than ever. To keep up with demand, our award-winning team is now hiring loaders and repair technicians. We offer great pay, a strong team, immediate openings, and room to grow with our KC-based, female-owned company, trusted for over 35 years. Apply in person or online today at centuryroofingkc.com. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Hey KC, Alex Gold here from The Fan, inviting you to join us for the Victory Run 5K by Planet Fitness, happening Saturday, May 9th at Sporting KC Park Plaza, with a unique course around the Kansas Speedway. Whether you run or walk, bring your friends, bring the family, and don't miss the Kids Dash, all while supporting the Victory Project, helping kids battling cancer experience unforgettable soccer moments. Sign up now and use promo code RUNKC for 50% off. But don't wait, race day is almost here. That's promo code RUNKC for half off. We'll see you Saturday morning at the Victory Run.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Hey Kansas City, this is Cole Reagans. On your way home from the K, tune into Vern's postgame show right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Song was in my head.
Promiscuous girl?
That song was in my head.
What made you go with a little promiscuous girl?
I have no idea. It was just in my head.
1 o'clock hour on a Wednesday. Drew's thinking about.
This is gonna be Cody's next cover.
Oh, I tried to cover this one once.
Didn't you?
Oh, did you?
I didn't. We didn't even play it on the show. I listened to it a bunch of times when I was looking at the song for Nelson Velasquez. This is Nelly Furtado and Timberland, right? And so I tried to figure out if there was a way to do it, but it
Nelly Furtado.
It didn't hit.
17 years ago? Really?
Yeah, we're getting old, man. Getting very old.
I already told you I'm falling apart. So, we've already established that today.
Yeah.
The hypothetical I had, by the way, before the break was.
Okay.
So he was joking about the longest of long shots of all time. Your kid getting there. All right, Desmond's a top D1 prospect.
Okay.
Would you, and he's choosing between big schools, Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, whatever. Would you ask her to encourage him to go to Kansas?
Of course. If
You'd
he was one of the top
recruits, would you be like,
an NIL payment?
You got to make him go to Kansas.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I just make him turn UMKC's program around forever? Encourage him down that path.
Because
would that be irresponsible? Is that parental neglect?
Because
if your kid has an offer from Kansas and Duke, and I'm like, go play at UMKC.
If you want him to go to the NBA, yes.
For that, and then
if
also
you go to Kansas, he has a chance to go to the NBA.
Well, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
If you want to go,
and also the dollar amount. I mean, in this hypothetical,
if we're talking,
he might be getting, let's call it $2 million versus
50,000.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
If we're talking NIL, what it is right now, it would make more sense for him to go to any of the big schools.
Okay.
But yeah,
you'd sit on the show and be like, why not just tell him to go to Kansas?
Absolutely.
Stay close to home.
Absolutely.
Gold would slide him in NIL.
Carrington tell me to send him to Mizzou.
Yeah.
You're going to send him to
NIL incentive. Yeah. Of course.
I do like the way that they've done some of these NIL things. Even if you go to the smallest, school, I think Laszlo's kid over at 96.5, he technically can, family members can buy, jerseys with his name on the back.
Yeah, they got NIL stores
for the small college baseball he plays, but essentially an NIL store where at least if Drew buys my kid's jersey or Shurzy, right, he gets a couple of bucks.
I think I don't know if KU has their own site or if it's a bigger branch, but I don't know. If they have a Melvin Council Jr. shirt where it's him doing a move or
there's
something
a cut.
like that, then he gets a cut from that.
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Rally House, they sell they have a lot of the caricature type shirts for some of the athletes, and that's an NIL setup. It has the player's signature on it or
Someone
whatever.
said if Desmond's that good, he must have took after his mother.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
His recent request, by the way, Drew, is a chain. He wants to fit the vibe.
He's watching a lot of NBA players and he
you.
sees them wearing chains.
Yeah,
I'm telling
so
you.
Are you going to buy him a chain?
Well, not a real gold chain.
Well, of course not.
Cuban
Of course
a
not.
Cuban Linky 7.
Not a real chain.
Hell no.
Just wait.
He got some costume jewelry. He can have one of those Pasquantino necklaces.
Just wait. Okay, so his favorite player is Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Just wait until he sees Steph showing up in the walk-in to the arena with the earrings in, and then he sees some of the tattoos. Dad, what are the markings on Steph's arm?
I get some Tim tattoos. Oh
my gosh.
you can put those on. He can have a fake sleeve.
Cody's going to turn his kid into Baby Gronk.
He's going to be 12 years old.
Cody's going to turn his kid into Baby Gronk.
He's going to be 12 years old with a sleeve and some fake tattoos on.
He said he wanted the chain. This is just me.
And what'd you say?
I said, yeah, we'll look at it.
You said, yeah.
I said, I'll look into it. Yeah. What's it going to cost me? $15? Or like I said, I'll get the Pasquantino one, and he can just have the Pasquatch one from the giveaway a couple years ago. Would that work?
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fine. So we'll see. Anyway, let's talk about the World Cup, things that are happening in Kansas City.
Look.
What, a month from now or so?
Yep, 6.5 weeks or so away. And look, I'm very excited for it to go to a match. I think you're going to try to go to one. I know Drew's got tickets to one. So I'm excited from the fan element of just experiencing a World Cup in our city. However, I will say I'm pretty bummed to see where this thing is trending right now on what it's going to do for the Kansas City area. And the latest was from a piece in the Kansas City Star where it references that the hotel numbers are not just low for the World Cup, but as in
low for normal.
It's low for normal June and July. Here, I'll just read you a little bit of blurb from David Hudnall's article. He said the headline stat that is somewhere between 85 and 90% of Kansas City hotels are currently booking below expectations. Many hotels are running behind what they'd see in a typical June or July with nothing going on. He goes on to say that tracks with the KCI data that's been showing for weeks. Airline seat capacity for the summer is roughly in line with where it was 2 years ago when there was, of course, not a major event. It goes on to say one contributing factor here is that FIFA, so this is where I think FIFA screwed a lot of this up too, initially reserved massive blocks of hotel rooms across host cities, which created this mirage of strong demand. Recently, FIFA began releasing most of those rooms back onto the market due to lack of demand. In Kansas City, 70 to 95% of FIFA's inventory is now back in circulation.
And, like, I guess this is the problem. When you release it back into circulation, let's just say it was a couple weeks ago. Now what? You want people to come and spend $400 a night to stay in the Crown Center area on short notice? You want them to now last minute make that decision from some other part of the continental United States to come into Kansas City where the prices are still crazy? I looked it up. Like, in order to get a reasonable priced hotel, you got to stay an hour outside of town, maybe more. And so it's not like the hotels have reduced their price as an effort of this demand. I think what's happening here is pretty obvious because it isn't just here. Forbes had an entire article out about how in 8 of the World Cup city, it's all way down. It's all way below expectation. That number is 650,000. That ain't happening. And I think the mayor knows it, and I think that the rest of the world knows it at this point, and that the demand that we were anticipating, I'm not saying it won't be a sold-out crowd for Argentina still.
No, Argentina, that match in particular is going to be nuts, but I think, look, there's blame all the way around. I mean, I think FIFA and the way they have gone about the ticketing process and how high the tickets are, and they're charging 30% on their resale market as well. Their cut. If I want to sell the 3 matches I have tickets for, Cody, and I don't want to go on StubHub, but I want to sell it through the FIFA marketplace, it says 30% cut as far as what they're getting between the seller side and the buyer side of it, which is way higher than StubHub and some of these other sites. So FIFA's getting greedy with this. The other part is, and we're not going to dive into the details. We don't do this on this show. You guys know that, but I think we all know what's going on in the world right now and where things are at, and the fact that Algeria is a country that's going to be playing matches here, and if someone from Algeria wants to come to Kansas City to watch a match, they got to have a $15,000, I think it's like a Visa loan program or something. Again, we're not going to dive into the details, but I think the reality of what is going on in the world right now and the country is impacting some of this in a big way.
It's having an impact. There's nowhere like the current.
But the mayor's sending out a tweet.
Environment.
This is all you need to know. When the mayor responded to the article from the Star, he sent out a tweet.
I thought this was really telling in a bad way.
At Quinn Lucas KC. Quote, I think bust is a bit early to declare. Global chaos, immigration challenges, rising expenses aren't helpful, no doubt. But I think it succeeds if Kansas Cityans realize it's also for them. Biggest mistake of the NFL draft was suggesting people avoid downtown and the like. Now, I agree on the draft part. People were afraid it was going to be way too chaotic and they didn't go. And yes, people should go to the World Cup if they can. But the idea that now Kansas Cityans are the ones that are going to prop it up and bring the numbers, I thought we were all told that, no, all these people are coming into our city and going to spend money at the businesses around town, not that Joe from Lee Summit or Gladstone or Overland Park or whatever was going to go downtown and spend the money. And that wasn't going to be the make or break part of this World Cup. And now it sounds like the make or break part is going to be whether or not Kansas Cityans end up going to these events.
It was easily the scariest thing he could have said while trying to pretend optimism. Because, like, look, as a civic leader, like when you're the mayor or something like that, all you ever have to say is nice things. The new Royal Stadium will make $1 trillion. A gajillion people will be in the city. We're all just going to be pockets flush with cash. You can't believe what it'll do. And it doesn't matter the thing. That is part of the job. Saying everything will be great at the new airport. Everything will be great with the new team. While ignoring some of the typically heightened numbers that come from the economic benefit side. But this is far below that. Because his statement of, it's not a bust yet. So he's not even saying it won't be. And then just saying, we just need Kansas Cityans to show up. That's the opposite of what was promised. What was promised was a city full of people. And what happened was, dead serious, I was gone Thursday because I sat on this panel full of people from
UMKC.
it was like people from KCUR and managing editor at the Kansas City Star and some other stuff. And so some other people were like covering some of these storylines. They said that what's going on is business owners, because they kind of got burned during the draft when they said, all these people are going to visit your business, and they mostly just stayed in the draft area, have been reluctant to staff up and do these things because they didn't want to find out like the last time that maybe
By the way, the exact same
it wasn't
thing,
going to be the thing that just happened.
The exact same thing just happened when we were in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
There's been a lot of stories from the fallout of that where other than right by the draft, the rest of Pittsburgh did not experience the boost that they were expecting.
Yeah, the people go and they go to the area. And look, the FIFA World Cup Village down there by the Liberty Memorial might be there. But it was like in listening to the stories from like the Star and that panel, they were talking about how they're like Taylor Swift was 40 times because nobody promised anything. And there wasn't like a universal gathering place. So like if you're a business outside of like the FIFA bubble, you're not going to probably see the increase that they've been promising. But the problem is we thought that there was going to be this influx of people in the city coming to the city who weren't going to be here normally. And it sounds like that number, whatever that number was, is way lower than they originally thought.
Barring a big shift.
Because I'm excited for the World Cup to be here.
Same. And I think ultimately still the matches are going to be great, but from the economic impact, it feels like we're trending towards a massive disappointment. Hopefully that's not the case, but our fans from the Netherlands just 2 weeks before the match just going to book their flights and hotels. Again, maybe culturally it's different in how they plan their trips. I know about you. If I was going to another country, I wouldn't wait till 2 weeks before to book my stuff. So
No.
I would have thought they'd already have their hotels or Airbnbs and flights booked by now.
Yeah, and I guess I have a hard time imagining that if you were like, I'm going to go to the World Cup. Like, let's just say you live in a different part of the country, but you're not like from out of the country. You just live in Nashville and you're like, I love soccer. I want to see a World Cup match. I have a hard time imagining that like on May 6th, now you're like, you know what? Now they're saying no one's going to be in Kansas City, so I'll pop on down.
The only thing that could change.
I don't know, man.
The only thing that could change from the local end, again, not people traveling and flying in and staying at hotels, but if you're just talking about the ticket market, is if the ticket market, will we see the ticket market crash closer to the start of these matches? We were looking at StubHub and FIFA Marketplace today because Drew's got tickets for Tunisia, Netherlands. I've got tickets to a couple matches, and I think we're going to just go to the Tunisia one.
Sell a couple of the others, right?
And yeah, Spec was talking to me. I might sell Spec the Curacao Ecuador game, but so I can't wait to go. But ticket prices, I have a feeling that we're going to see them dip here, like within a week of the match.
Drew, what did you? And I tried to get in every single ticket lottery they did. I was never selected, not even once. Drew, you said it was the Netherlands one you got tickets for?
Yep.
I'm just curious now, like what the secondary market is on those.
I got them through a regular,
Yeah, you got them through the lottery, right?
No, I didn't. I got them.
He bought them from a reseller on a platform.
As soon as they as soon as they became publicly available, like the day that it happened, because I think Rob had said they're going to go public at, I don't know, it was like 10 a.m. on a Saturday or something like that. I got on literally at 10 a.m.
And remember, they have the categories, right? So category 1, 2, 3, or whatever.
And
Tickets.
I of course got I'm not affording category 1 or I looked at category 3. So
500
I still don't know
face
where the
for
seats
category
are
1. Yeah, yours. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't got your seats.
I still don't know where they're at yet. But
We
it's
know
category 3.
We know where ours are at, and again, I think we decided to go to 1 and sell the other 2. That's the plan.
There you go.
Now.
Look, genuinely, my hope is that I'll be able to get Algeria tickets for cheap.
That'll be the cheapest one in Kansas City. It's a 9:30 start or something like that. It's a late one.
It's on a Saturday, though.
It's also Algeria, Austria. Not going to be as big of a draw as, of course, Netherlands or Argentina, for crying out loud. So we'll see. I'm excited for it, but man, it doesn't look great in terms of the impact that it's going to have on the city right this second.
I'm just trying to look now. It's not even showing. Oh, it's because I've got a date range selected. I'm like, why is it giving me such a weird? You and I, funny enough, were looking at date ranges for possible events in Las Vegas. And so it was giving me weird prices. But Algeria and Austria, what do you think the cheapest price you can get in is right now?
For the Austria-Algeria? Just to sit anywhere?
Sit anywhere.
$150.
$190. Hasn't gone quite that far down.
The get in or category 3?
Get in. That's the category 3. That's get in.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's going to be upstairs corner, row 30 something.
And behind the goal, right?
Yeah.
Like the worst place to be on the pitch. But at least, you could be in the. I want to just be at a World Cup match in Kansas City. $190? At least now, like you said, locally, maybe we'll have a chance to do it. These are tickets that used to be listed at $370. People who had tickets listed at $400, now listing them at $200. The prices are coming down on some of this stuff. I could sit downstairs, lower level corner, like corner end zone, for $340 now. Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, the matches I think are going to be full, but the people from other countries and cities coming to Kansas City, it feels like was grossly exaggerated.
Yes. Like, Drew, and again, Drew, the good news is for your prices, wherever you are, those ticket prices are still above what you paid for them.
Yeah, I paid about $300 even.
But will they, so they're right at.
Yeah.
Like, that's the lowest price to get in the building, category 3 right now for that game. But as Gold said, I still think everybody is inflated. For the same reason, Gold, if you've got tickets for sale, you would still keep them high. It's 6 weeks outside the event.
Yeah, we haven't dropped them.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm not buying a ticket yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait another month.
Well, and then FIFA screwed up the ticket process. I just saw it today.
They did. God,
I saw it
did.
today.
FIFA really hurt this.
They're about to do another last chance availability, which is great if you don't have tickets, but they've been claiming it's the last draw for 3 months, it feels like. So, and they haven't released all the it's a lot of this is FIFA's own doing. A lot of this.
FIFA's a huge part of the problem. They booked up all the hotel rooms so no one could get them. So then all the rates got jacked up. Everybody thought it was going to cost $1,000 a night to stay in Kansas City. Then not only were the tickets hard to get, they made them seem hard to get. Then they also made the prices crazy, and then they changed everyone's category number. They were saying category 3 was in a certain area, and that it could include like midfield in the upper deck, but that was a lie. It didn't really or couldn't really include that, and all these other spots. They screwed with everyone's seats. And so, like, they're definitely a part of the problem. But I don't know, man. I'm just trying to decide what to anticipate, I guess, from the end. I'm still excited. I still want to watch a World Cup in Kansas City. It is still in my opinion, once-in-a-lifetime thing for the city. You and I will
question.
They may never host another World Cup in Kansas City ever, genuinely. And so it's going to be in this city. I'm going to try to take advantage of it and go down to the World Cup Village and catch a match.
The Village is going to be it's going to be cool to see, like, just from the festivities aspect of it outside the stadium. And
yeah, you can go online and reserve your
too,
tickets for one of the 30-something days that they're going to have the Fan Fest essentially set up there at Liberty Memorial.
Someone says, I'm going to, YouTube and Twitch, I'm going to watch it from home, or maybe I'm going to one game. None of us are going to, unless you're just a gazillionaire.
If you're covering it, then it's different, obviously.
But that's a whole other thing that people don't even understand. It doesn't matter. To cover a FIFA game, I want to go cover a match for FIFA. I have to apply for the credentials. They then approve me to be allowed to apply. Just to be clear, you go through, you give a blood sample and 1,000 different things, a piece of your DNA, and then they'll say, yes, you can apply to maybe cover something.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's all obviously for security reasons. Heck, when we went to the draft, we had to the NFL has our social and all kinds of stuff we had to get FBI. They have to go through not FBI,
but FIFA's more complicated.
Homeland Security clearance or whatever it was in order to go to the draft. Even, I mean, it's for the press pass. I mean, so that's more related to security.
Yeah,
and understandable.
I mean, it's the biggest event in the world in sports. It's just
Good
other than the
times.
Olympics, I guess, but maybe even more than the Olympics from a people traveling standpoint.
I mean, it's the world's most popular sport.
It's a tough time for people to travel to the United States, man.
Yeah,
and
that's
in
definitely
the United States. So,
well, I can't. I mean, gas is like $4.30 a gallon.
Yeah,
brutal right now. What do you think it costs? $50 if my tank's empty right now? I drive just like a regular small SUV.
It might be more than that. For me, the car that I drive, it might be 50.
Yeah,
I
right
never
now,
get it below a certain amount now because it feels less bad.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm driving the Mach-E from
nice.
Sean Ford. It's electric. I don't have to pay for gas right now.
Very, very, very good time. I got to drive to Texas in like a month.
Have fun with that.
What's that going to cost me? $4,000.
You're gonna spend hundreds of dollars on gas.
Fly at that point.
Maybe it's cheaper.
No, it's not. Jet fuel is outrageous.
Oh no, I'm saying it might be the gas might be cheaper in Oklahoma if you need to stop or I don't know on your way. I have no clue.
I'm gonna walk.
Okay.
How long do you think it'd take me to walk? A month?
There'd be a story about you for sure.
If I walked, how long? You don't think it'd take me a month?
Hang on. This is for
15 days.
This is for dance, right?
Yeah.
Man forces family to walk to Dallas, Texas from Kansas City for his daughter's dance event.
Yeah, I don't think. I'd soon just send my wife and my daughter to, buy a plane ticket, then make everybody walk.
From here to Dallas, walking for some odd reason, 8 days.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
That's no stopping.
Right.
That's like I'm just Forrest Gump and I never stop moving. It's going to take me a whole hell of a lot longer than 8 days.
Let's call it 15 to 20 days.
How many total miles?
Is this right?
Did it say?
511?
That's tough. 2 weeks. You're probably right. 2 weeks. Can I just have the whole...
Someone said they drive an F-150, $130 to fill up.
I believe it. I'm actually surprised it's not more than that.
Yo.
Someone's saying, so this is, that's
You can go ahead and
crazy.
say it, yeah.
No, go ahead.
It makes sense, though. If someone said the $1,000 get-in price for any U.S. game, it makes sense, though, I guess. Like, just from this, it makes sense that it's more expensive than the other games, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, because it's
in the U.S.
Yeah, it's in the United States. I'm sure the Mexico games are
More
similar to that. I'm sure
the actual U.S. national team games, I get why those are expensive. But, some of the pricing for these other matches is just crazy.
Yeah, it's out of control. Really out of control. All right, we still got some Royals, Mahomes to talk about. Plus, this is your last working day of the week.
It is.
We got to talk about that later.
Let's get into that and some what's trending next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel can make watching the NBA playoffs more exciting because right now new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to all the action, from player props on your favorite stars to stats and trends. FanDuel has all the tools you need to back them up. It's everything you need all in one app, so don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Bet on the players you love the way you want. Visit FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
DQ presents the $7 Meal Deal, a delicious meal serving up serious value. We're talking 100% white meat, seasoned chicken strips, full-size fries, a drink, and of course, a classic DQ sundae. Because come on, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. All for just $7. And now you can try it with the new Honey Sriracha Dip. The DQ $7 Meal Deal, a satisfying meal full of big flavor for a great value. DQ, happy tastes good.
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent medium fountain and new Frostbite by Casey's drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, dig between your couch cushions, ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. 89-cent medium Frostbite by Casey's or fountain drinks at Casey's all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Time's running out to get 10% off your home painting project. Take advantage of CertaPro's spring sales event before May 15th. And if you've been putting off painting, now's the time. From scuffs inside to peeling paint outside, protect your home with CertaPro painters. Their free estimates are detailed and easy to understand. And each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Kansas City. So schedule your free estimate now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-750.
Specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
This report is brought to you by CM Mosen Son, HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical Services. CMMosenSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mosen Son. Coming to terms with a dying AC unit is tough. If you need to replace your AC, visit cmmosenson.com to schedule your free estimate. CM Mosen Son. License 202919. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rob Brennan. We hope you're enjoying Beyond the Pitch KC, a podcast on how Kansas City landed the world's biggest sporting event. It's presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. New episodes released every Wednesday on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending, the Royals going for 5 in a row after, make that 6 in a row. I'm sorry. They have won 5 in a row. Going for 6 in a row tonight as they welcome in the Guardians for Game 3 of the Game 4 set. Cole Reagan's on the bump. Vern's on deck. Show at 5:30. The Royals could be in first place by the end of tonight.
I hope that they are. Obviously, it makes it entertaining. I'm just saying it is very impressive that they closed the gap they did in a 16-day span.
No doubt.
They went from the last place in baseball to maybe first place in the division in 17 days. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Next up on what's trending, NBA playoffs underway. The Thunder beat the Lakers last night in game 1 of their series, 108 to 90. Pistons got game 1 of their series, 111 to 101. 2 game 2s tonight. It'll be the Spurs and Timberwolves. Remember, the Timberwolves stole game 1 against the Spurs. Anthony Edwards did play in that game, so we'd expect him back there again tonight. And the Knicks and 76ers. But bad news for the 76ers, who got throttled anyway in their game 1. No Joel Embiid. He's going to miss the game tonight.
Over in hockey, Stanley Cup playoffs continued last night. It was the Colorado Avalanche taking a 2-0 lead on the Minnesota Wild with a 5-2 win. Tonight we got 2 games. The start of the Eastern Conference second round. It's Buffalo Sabres taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Game 1 starts around 6 o'clock from Buffalo. The late game tonight out in Vegas. The Golden Knights taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Vegas already up 1-0.
Yeah, it's been a fun Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA playoffs up to this point. But the first couple of games of this round have been awful. like four games, 3 blowouts. So let's hope we can get some good ones tonight in the NBA side. Next up on What's Trending, big news in baseball. Carlos Correa has suffered a tendon tear in his ankle that is going to keep him out for the rest of the season. That, according to the Astros who put that news out. Of course, McTaggart and some of the other guys who cover the Astros are reporting it earlier today. He suffered it while taking swings in the batting cage on Tuesday. They're 15-22. He's out for the season. Just another thing, to be in trouble for. So Astros, unlike the Royals, they have not bounced back from their slow start, but now no Carlos Correa for the rest of the year. That's the middle of the order bat. That's brutal. Brutal.
That is what's trending here on Cody Gold. I didn't know if you're going to include that. I thought when you said the big MLB news, you were excited about the MLB partnership they announced today. Did you see this?
I did not.
They partnered with Hello Kitty on a clothing collection set to roll out in limited quantities. The initial launch featuring the Dodgers, Yankees, and Cubs. There's not a Royals one yet, but Hello Kitty.
I thought they already did a Hello Kitty one last year.
I guess not. I don't know. Guess not.
My kid likes Hello Kitty.
That's why would she want a Hello Kitty Royals shirt?
If there was one, she would probably wear it. Yeah, I would think so. I don't know that for a fact. Like as my kids get older, they're starting to develop an opinion on the.
That's scary.
That's
your influence will be shown through your kids.
Yeah,
even more so.
We talked about it earlier. I from a friend, by the way, I've managed to procure one chain for Desmond. It's just the Pasquantino one. That's going to have to work for now.
Just a chain.
The giveaway from last year where it has the Sasquatch on it. He can wear that for a little while, right? See if it,
Sasquatch on a chain while he's playing basketball. Okay.
I was going to say that, but yeah.
All right.
I'm sure Vinny would appreciate it.
Honestly, he just wants it to look like the people he likes watching playing basketball. That's it. So
no, I totally understand.
That's it.
I used to wear a headband when I played basketball when I was little because LeBron used to wear the headband.
We'd sometimes we would occasionally get like a really big game together of backyard football. We'd go play down at this. It was the Necco Raiders. It was field like in a park near us, but it had a field goal post, and we'd kick extra points in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'd get like 8-on-8, 7-on-7. You could have like 1 or 2 down linemen and everybody else running routes and stuff. And so we'd play like full. And when we go down there, no pads, same thing as always. But we would get wristbands and we'd make plays to hold on our wrist.
There you go.
And we'd label them like 1 through 20.
Nice.
We're like, all right, running 18.
Nice.
18. Okay, everybody. Everyone's lined up at X, Y, so you know exactly what you're supposed to do. We'd make fake wristbands to run plays.
That's fun.
Yeah, why not?
That's fun.
That's the kind of stuff you should do as a kid, Let's talk a little bit about either the Chiefs or the Royals before we talk about your absence over the next couple of days. Alex is doing some look maxing. Starting tomorrow, he's going to be completely different.
Why did you say it like that?
That's not what's happening. Dang it. That's not what's happening.
But he will be out for the next couple of days because of facial surgery.
That's also not true.
Do you don't like the way I describe it that way?
No, that's not accurate.
Sinus surgery.
There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah, we'll get into that some more.
Okay.
But yes,
we'll get into that.
Not plastic surgery. Thank you very much.
I think you had mentioned this earlier. Yes, I told you I had a little bit of a midlife crisis when you said we're in the back half of Mahomes' career, and I thought I don't like the way that sounds.
That's true.
Specifically, I just don't like the way it sounds. It sounds bad. It's not inaccurate or untrue. Those things are true, and he is on the back half of his career. I guess what was funny to me is when we had that conversation, I realized the standard set makes saying what we give as a reasonable back half of his career. No matter what we say, it's going to be unreasonable. Because a reasonable person for anybody in a 10-year career would be like, please win 1 Super Bowl. But that's not reasonable for him. And so it's like, well, you got to win 2. And 2 feels like I'm selling myself a little short. I'll accept it if it includes multiple Super Bowl appearances and several trips to the AFC title game and multiple MVPs. But there's no way to set a standard that is reasonable for him anymore. And so as we predict the back half of his career, I expect it to go, I hope, at least 80% of the front half of his career did.
Yeah, 2 MVPs, 5 Super Bowl appearances, 3 rings, multiple All-Pros along the way, and 8 years as a starter. Now entering his 10th year just in general in the league. I just think if I say the disappointing number versus the what you think's going to actually happen, those are 2 different things. I think disappointing, because as you said, the bar is so high. Disappointing would be if they only go to 1 Super Bowl the rest of his career on top of what he's already done. I think fans understand. I'd be very disappointed. That's how spoiled we are now. But If you told me in his final 10 years, let's say, of his career, he only goes to one more, yes, I would be very disappointed. Now, what do I think actually is going to happen? I think he's going to at least 3 more, and I think he's winning 2 more rings, and that would end up with 5 rings as an NFL player, which would be second all time.
Yeah, I think that it's not. Look, and that's
crazy to think about. Again, if I would have told 2017 Chiefs fan, oh, by the way, we're going to be upset that in the final 10 years of a quarterback, he's only going to go to 1 Super Bowl, you would have been like, what? What are you talking about?
And I think that that's why you and I have talked about this. This is exactly why you can't set any kind of standard. I think legitimately, and I mean this, every single other quarterback and franchise in the NFL, a reasonable standard of expectation for the good ones would be 1 Super Bowl in the next 9 to 10 years. The same, like Mahomes entering year 10. Let's just say it's 9 and then 9. 9 years for any team in the NFL, for a good team, would be 1 Super Bowl in the next 9 years. That'd be fine for Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Drake May. I don't care how young your quarterback is or how old your quarterback is. 1 would be fine. He's the only quarterback that we would say that wouldn't be enough. What's crazy is would 1 Super Bowl just cement him as the second greatest quarterback of all time? He'd have the second most Super Bowls. He'd have as many MVPs as those quarterbacks, you would assume. He'll end up with more yards and touchdowns and less interceptions than all those guys. The Terry Bradshaws, Troy Aikmans, Joe Montanas of the world. So would he already have? He has a dynasty the same as those guys do. So I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be like a slam dunk. A 49ers fan might fight you in the bar over it. But you could have a more than reasoned stance that he's the second greatest quarterback of all time. And I would think a very strong stance that he would be with a single Super Bowl title. But that's why 2 feels important. 2 cements you as the second best effort no matter what.
Right.
And at 2, you can make your argument against Brady because he's got 7 and maybe you do some other stuff, whatever. But it's like, it's going to be a hard argument, but at least you
the head-to-head thing really hurts. But
it does. But at 5, you're 2. And there's no argument for somebody else in your spot, I guess. That's why it's got to be 2. It's got to be 2.
The part, though, that none of us can predict also is, other than the obvious, which is health, is he might have a new head coach at some point. Is that 2 years from now? Is that 6 years from now? We don't know. But eventually he's going to have a new head coach during his back half of his career. And so what is that, do they make a great hire? Is the guy they hired stink? And we're like, oh gosh, it's been detrimental. Is it another offensive genius and they just pick up right where they've left off? That's the big wrinkle in this whole thing that none of us have the answer to. The Chiefs don't have the answer. Mahomes, Andy Reid, nobody knows for sure what that looks like. So when we're trying to predict what the next 10 years look like after now that now he's on the back half, Andy Reid not being the coach for part of that is something we just don't know what that looks like.
Which is why, like earlier, I do really think that if he wants to get to 5, I think he has to win at least one more with Andy Reid because we don't know about the coaching situation. Where if they
might be harder,
where if they don't hire the right person and then you got to hire somebody else, and then all of a sudden it becomes a question every single time of, well, not only do we have expectations of them making a run or trying to do something with it, but is this even the right coach for the job? That's where obviously it's a little bit of a danger zone. I think he's got to get one with Andy.
And the other part, this is just like with Brady, I would say, is with his career, like if the Chiefs go 3 more years in a row, so a total of 4, including last year, 3 more years where they don't make a Super Bowl, there will be nationally, and I'm sure we'll have the conversation locally, like, oh, will he ever get back to one? Because Brady had that gap as well, and then he obviously added a couple when he was in his 40s. So I think Mahomes, we should treat it the same way, where it's like it's never done till he's done playing football.
Yeah, correct.
That he could win one. But I do know, much like with Brady, because we had the conversation, just as sports fans, when Brady went 5 years without going to one or whatever it was, 4 years, we're like, oh, he's done. He's never going to one again. So if the Chiefs go another, and hopefully not, hopefully they're right back in it this year. I would love for that to be the case, or the next year. But let's say it's another 3+ years and they're not in one. People are going to have a conversation like, okay, it's just not going to happen.
Someone said they think he's winning 10.
But here's, I guess this is the other part about it.
Optimistic for sure.
Yeah. Nobody's ever started a career the way Patrick Mahomes has started it. The only other guy is Tom Brady. They have very close in total number of Super Bowl appearances, total number of Super Bowl wins, total number of MVPs. Actually, Mahomes got him on the MVPs because Brady didn't start winning MVPs until after a couple of Super Bowls stacked up.
He's not on pace to match the...
He is on pace to match Tom Brady if he plays the same amount of time.
Yeah.
He's actually he absolutely is. He's actually ahead of Tom Brady's total Super Bowl appearance number, which is 11 or 10 or whatever the hell it is. He's on pace to blow past that. But I will point out that Tom Brady, the longest he ever went in going to a Super Bowl was 3 years. He didn't win one for a very long time. He won one in 2004, and he didn't win another one until 2014. He won a decade. But he went to 2 Super Bowls in a time, and never more than 3 years in between.
Those were the Giants ones that they lost?
Those are the Giants ones that they lost. And they also went to the conference title game 1, 2, 3 more times in addition to that. So in the 10 years, he didn't win the Super Bowl. He went to the AFC title game 5 times. He went to the Super Bowl 2 times. So let's not pretend like that was just
7 of the 10 years he was on the door. He was right at the
well,
door.
so that's what I'm saying, though. If Mahomes,
so
I'm saying, though, if Mahomes this year, let's say this year, next year, they don't go to a Super Bowl, all of a sudden that's 3 straight years already. And so
you got to be kind of going to one again. Yeah, I agree. Because he won the Super Bowl, then he went 2 years without going to one, lost the Super Bowl, went 3 more years, without winning one or going to one. Then he went to another one and lost again. And then it was all just like gangbusters again. This is the whole point of and this is the part where penciling it in is also tough. Nobody's also had a second revival the way he did. Tom Brady went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl, and then he immediately won 3 in 6 years again. So that's not an easy thing to put on him or to assume he's going to have this run from age 39 to 42 or whatever, that might not be in the cuts. He's going to need to win his sooner. He's going to need to always pace above
which is what I do think
Tom Brady, even to get to the 5.
The fact that he won the fact that Tom Brady won 6 with Bill Belichick, I think in Pat.
Yeah. Who's the only one of these quarterbacks we're mentioning that won with a different coach? Aikman? Aikman won 3 though. He's already.
Brady technically won 1 he won 2. But from the standpoint of what you're saying is, Patrick Mahomes probably needs to win his sooner, just because if the coach is not the right one, then you might have missed your opportunity when Andy was still coaching, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That meshes it just meshes well with Pat and Andy, and it always has.
Yeah. It's just I was just thinking about it, can you change quarterbacks or change coaches and still win?
Probably.
Tom Brady won 6 of his 7 Super Bowls with the same coach.
Mm-hmm.
So a huge chunk, right? That's ahead of everybody by 2 anyway, just the 6.
Bradshaw probably all won.
Joe Montana won them all with the same coach. Bradshaw won them all with the same coach. Mahomes has won them all with the same coach. I don't think Aikman won them with the same. His was weird, right? He got the one with Switzer or whatever. He got 2. He got 2 with Jimmy. He got
I don't know.
He got 2 with Jimmy and 1 with Switzer. I don't remember the exact order, but he got 1 with somebody else. So it's not unheard of.
That is kind of interesting.
But you're also in just really rare company where it's we only have a sample size of 4, Drew. So how the hell do I know if he can't win with another coach?
Yeah,
the greatest of all time did it.
It is really interesting though that even just Terry Bradshaw won all of them with the same coach in Montana. It's evidently a trend. And also in fairness, if you're winning, you're also not firing the coach. When Andy retires, it's not because he was pushed out of the building, unless he obviously misses the playoffs or whatnot. But if you're winning and you're in those conversations, you're not changing head coaches. Where let's say when they're done with Andy Reid, let's say Pat wins 1 and he gets to 4. If that next head coach, if they're winning again, then presumably Patrick Mahomes will win another one, or at least will be in the running, and he's only going to play with 1 more head coach over the course of his career.
Let's talk a little bit about the Royals before we bid you adieu until next Monday. Just real quick, Cole Reagans tonight. I had asked earlier about the concern over players. Cole Reagans has had a weird year. Are you he's had an incomplete career is always the fear. As in, I can't just be Cole Reagans is blank. I don't know what Cole Reagans is. His career is a 3.78 earned run average. So when he's out there, he's historically a very good pitcher. To above average, to close to ace level, depending on at his peak. He's been bad this year. He wasn't good in his he was bad in about half his starts last year and excellent in the other half of his starts last year. I just can't peg it down. I feel like he's just having command issues and then it's unsure, or I'm hoping he settles in at some point and we see 2 straight months of awesome Cole Reagans, but we haven't seen him put it together in multiple games yet. He's also given up a league high 10 home runs. Which means
the home runs have been a big problem for him this year.
That's a real problem.
Yeah, that's the part that maybe is hurt him the most. Clearly with where he performed. Now, as you said, he's been much better at home, and so maybe it's a perfect storm tonight, and he settles in. This doesn't seem to be, fortunately, it's not a health problem right now for Cole Reagans. It's the performance has not been what you're expecting from your from your ace of your staff, from your opening day starter. Now, based off of what he's done this year, I expect him tonight to pitch well. This is at home. He's been really, really effective. So if they do that, all of a sudden, this is a team that is one game under 500 if they actually get this thing done. You'll be talking tomorrow about them getting to 500.
I only want to look at the schedule because I care for a brief day. Tigers play the Red Sox again tonight. Is that right? I imagine they played the Red Sox yesterday.
Yep, tonight, 5:40.
And then the White Sox are still on the road, right, against the Angels, presumably, because they were on the West Coast.
They are. They're playing in like an hour or so.
Okay, so if the White Sox lose against the Angels, we'll actually know the results of both those other games because they face an hour before in the Tigers game and that. If the Royals are up like 3-0 or 5-2 in the sixth, and the Angels have already beaten the White Sox and the Tigers have already lost, the Royals will be playing for first place. First place. It's crazy. Really, again, kudos to that. And I hope Cole Riggins is good. But you're going to be gone.
Yes.
The next few days. For those who missed it earlier, Alex is going to be absent due to surgery for at least the next 2 shows.
Yeah. Somebody on Twitter told me that you take 2 weeks off. I'm not doing 2 weeks off.
2 weeks?
That's not happening.
I mean, if you need to take it.
That's not happening. Now, there's a chance I will also have to be off Monday or something. That truly just depends. I have no idea because I'm going to have sinus surgery. You guys that listen to the show, for 3+ years, I haven't been able to smell, and I've had sinus infections, and we've tried different things and antibiotics, etc. Smell briefly came back, went away again. Finally, my doctor said, hey, let's just do the sinus surgery. So I'm having like 3 different procedures done tomorrow, and it's very common, sinus surgery, deviated septum surgery, and something else that I can't remember. And it's gonna suck, I think, based on what people are telling me. But long term, it's
Not
going
a
to be.
single person said it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
that's not great.
Long term, it's going to be very good. Meaning, hopefully, smell comes back. Hopefully, this cuts down on sinus infections and all that. I have to have stents put up my nose, and they stay in until next Wednesday.
So you think
I won't be able to breathe on my nose, which is why I don't know if I can come back Monday. Not only is it uncomfortable, but can I talk for 4 hours?
What time's your appointment on Wednesday? I don't think we're seeing you till next Thursday. Over, under, Drew? What do you think?
I'm hoping
What day
Monday.
are we seeing Alex? I'm thinking like Wednesday,
Stents
Thursday.
get taken out next Wednesday at 2:45.
Man, you're just going right after the show is your plan?
Well, what else am I
rip a
supposed to
couple
do?
of sticks out your nose? I don't know.
Yeah, they have to pull the stents out, which is not.
You're going straight away today. You're going tomorrow.
No. He's talking about the stents. The surgery.
I still think this might be a cover for plastic surgery.
Surgery is tomorrow morning. The stent thing is next Wednesday. You
Alex
think
been
I'm
taking
getting
care of himself? He wants to look his best. He's working really hard.
Man,
on
I don't
sculpting his body, and he's like, I got one more thing.
I want to say you'll be back on Tuesday, but post stint you won't be back until I think you're going to miss a
You think
day.
they're going to rip? No, I think after the stint's out, he's going to feel great.
You think so?
So what I was told on that is you'll feel great immediately, and then the next day it'll swell back up a little bit.
Which is why I think you might miss the next day. Like you might be back on. You might do Tuesday, Friday of next week.
It's 3 months till it's like fully 100, everything 100%. But I was told like after 2 weeks, then you kind of start to be good.
I'm intrigued to see because you mentioned that somebody had brought it up. I'm intrigued to see if your voice changes at all now. Like that actually.
Better not. Better not.
He's going to sound like one of those old cops. Brr, 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 brr. Going to change his
the voice part. If you're actually like honestly like what I'm worried about is that I don't think it'd be a drastic change, but there's a chance. I mean, because the doctor was like, you may not even realize how poorly you've been breathing and the sinus pressure and stuff, and so. Who knows? I might, after the stents are removed, I might be like, holy crap, this is how you're supposed to be getting airflow?
Right.
I don't know.
Here's a great way to test it, Drew. We need 3 examples over the course of the summer. I need Alex to deliver 1 line today.
Yes.
A week after the surgery, deliver 1 line, and then like 2 months after the surgery, we'll play all 3, we will find out if Alex's voice has changed.
I'll tell you the exact line he needs to say. Go ahead and say the Bengals are a part of loser, or whatever your favorite saying is part of that.
Just simple, in medium tone, nothing too loud or quiet.
The Bengals live in Loserville.
Okay.
Perfect.
We will then record that again 2 more times and find out if Alex's voice has changed.
Can I please, bring this up before we're done? Somebody on the text line from the 913 said Brosif. I had it done like 15 years ago, and it was 100% worth it, and it wasn't that bad. Brosif, though.
Brosif.
From the 913, not from
It's
San
a very
Diego.
common procedure. I mean, I appreciate a lot of people have been texting in, and
it sounds like
someone said they had the same surgery in 2018. Horrible recovery. You will be miserable for 2 weeks. With that said, I would do it again. It changed my life for the better. That's the thing.
That's fine.
Short-term pain, long-term gain. That's what it is.
Look, if it works out, it works out.
So Bink's going to be in. So Bink's going to be in. Someone says, "Who's your doctor?" Oh, we've talked about the doctor name. He's been very good.
Dr.
Seaman. He's been great.
That's good.
We're gonna get this thing fixed tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. He's going to take care of you, man.
That's right.
Take care.